Yo, what is going on? We are live. WrestleMania Night 1 in Las Vegas is officially in the books. Seth Rollins is now a Paul Heyman guy. Jey Uso is now a world champion. Tiffany Stratton is still a world champion. Fatu won his first singles title in WWE. It was WrestleMania. NXT Stand and Deliver was on as well yesterday. A lot of stuff went down, so we're going to get into all of it if we can. A few news things as well. WWE acquiring AAA, which caught a lot of us off guard, to say the least. So we'll touch on that as well. But, you know, first things first, as always, please like, subscribe, send any super chats with any topics, any of your reactions to last night, yesterday, any of your predictions for tonight, any takes, anything you want us to get into. You know the score. You guys can kind of guide the show if you want to with your super chats. But like I said, we've got a few things to get to today. But hope everyone's doing good. Like I said, as always, turn on the post notifications and all the other good stuff. But yo, Rob, what's going on, bro? Yesterday was eventful, man. You're muted, bro. Amateur.
Oh, yeah, my bad, y'all. Man, it's I forgot how to podcast. Yo, Monty, you know how long it's been since we said, Monty, that an NXT show was better than a main roster pay-per-view in the same weekend?
It's been a hot
minute.
When the last time?
It happened at Money in the Bank last year, right? When Heatwave was better than Money in the Bank, sure. But you know how like it's been a few years since the Vince McMahon era, since we were saying, yo, the NXT show is better than fucking WrestleMania, or better than Survivor Series, or better than, because it was. Listen, yo, yesterday was Yesterday was really bad. Last night was like really, really bad. Like, yeah, last year was it as silent as last year, Monty? Sure, but like last year had at least had some digestible content on the show that you could walk away from WrestleMania last year on WrestleMania 40 and be like, I liked that match, right? Thus, yesterday had like 3 out of 7 matches that you could say that with, and I will,
Whoa,
we will. I'm very, very excited to get into that today. I seen some
excited,
people had, I seen some people had some
fired up.
opinions on some opinions that I had yesterday. I'm just here to let you know, your opinions are my opinions. I don't care. They're my opinions, and I think I'm right all the time. So I'm ready. I'm
Yeah,
ready to get into ready to get
that
into
is a
this
big
WrestleMania.
issue with Sir Paragraph. He does always. He will never concede defeat. You know. He will never. So these people that he's coming for, who are replying to him, I don't know where this is gonna go. Hopefully, he don't get too passionate about it. But he's already coming
I'm
off
not.
with the
I'm
hot
not. I'm
takes.
not.
You're already coming with the hot takes, though, bro. You know, he's saying, I don't know, bro. You came in hot on WrestleMania last night. I know a lot of people weren't happy with it, but when we was about to go live and we was doing our tweets to say on our accounts, you know, look, we're about to go live. I see that Rob's tagged me in a post that it's like Garbage Mania Night 1 review. I was like, yo, this guy. Rob hated last night, bro. He messaged me halfway through and he was like, listen, wait until I get on a mic tomorrow.
I was like, yo, I was like, yo, what is happening? Yo,
Listen,
the whole time I'm
this
watching
was before the
WrestleMania.
main event, though. This was before the main event,
Yeah,
though.
this is
Which,
before the
you
main.
know,
Obviously, like, I'm gonna praise the main event. No thanks to CM Punk, but I'm gonna praise the main event. You know, the main event was great. No, everybody in the main event did great last night. I'll give CM Punk his praise when we get to that main event. But last night, like, I think if that main event doesn't happen, I don't think this is a bottom 5 WrestleMania of all time, like people are saying. But I think it's like a bottom 10, bottom 20 WrestleManias of all time if that main event doesn't happen. So I'm very, very excited to get into a lot of the stuff that I disliked and the stuff that I liked on the show. More the stuff that I disliked.
you just, I don't know, bro. You see, when you got a chance to hate, it just fuels you, bro. It's scary business.
That's
It's
what people
scary
love, bro.
business.
The people love hatred.
I don't
Monty,
know.
you
I don't know, bro.
Monty.
I
I've
love all
seen it.
wrestling. You get me? Like, I'm the positive guy. You know, everyone will tell you this. I'm definitely not lying. I'm not the cynical one. I'm not critical. I love all wrestling, bro. You know, and last night, you know, the first 80% of it wasn't quite as special as you wanted it to be, but they did stick the landing. But anyway, we'll get into that. So we'll dive straight into it basically right now. So this show, as Rob has kind of outlined already, it has been getting a lot of criticism online during the show, right up until the main event. Like, Rob isn't just like coming on here spitting out takes out of nowhere. This is what a lot of people have been saying online. Like I said, up until the main event. And to be honest, it's not that the matches weren't awful. And again, they weren't all as great as I wanted some of them to be. But it wasn't like there was car crashes going on left, right, and center. You know, it just felt like, I thought, for so much of the show last night, that WWE didn't capture the magic of WrestleMania, bro. It's just one of those.
There were accounts that love WWE with their heart and soul on the timeline, being like, "Yo, what the fuck is happening on this pay-per-view?" Like,
I seen people
that
calling it
love
Raw and stuff,
WWE.
bro. It was
The
like
niggas was talking about y'all niggas, and niggas paid $1,000 to go watch Saturday Night Raw, Saturday Night SmackDown.
bro. It's like I said, it was getting aggressive on the timeline. Like I said, online, a lot of people not happy with it, bro. And like I said, I felt like it didn't quite capture the magic of WrestleMania, which I guess is kind of like a cop-out answer, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it is one of those intangible things. Like, we can kind of like pick out a few of the things. Like, I did think that, you know, like, sure, we can pick out some things. Like, I didn't think they went all out with the entrances like they could have, and I kind of was like disappointed in that sense. It lacked, like, the show with that lacked a bit of pomp and circumstance. It almost felt like they blew the budget on the stage, because the stage was amazing, to give credit where credit's due, which, like I said, stage was amazing. We can talk about how the matches didn't look very great on paper. We could talk about how the builds could have been better. And I'm sure we will kind of stumble across those topics, you know. But it just didn't feel like WrestleMania for like 80% of it.
You know why they didn't have too many special entrances, Monty.
I don't.
Because them niggas broke.
Come on, bro.
Them niggas, hey, Monty, you notice? I noticed ever since they was like, yeah, we're going to cut back on the pyro. But I thought this was your hottest period ever. I thought y'all were, Monty, repeatedly, every week I was being told, Monty, in case you're living under a rock, WWE is on fire right now. That's what I was being told every week, Monty. They were on fire. Every week they're coming out. They're in fucking bumblefuck Iowa talking about they're in fucking South Dakota talking about they spent all their money on AAA. Dead ass. Like there's no dead ass. But they're in fucking Montana or South Dakota, whatever arenas over there, because don't nobody knows what arenas over there. But they'd be like, this is the highest fucking gate in South Dakota history for any show ever, for any event ever. And it's just like, but then they're like cutting costs and they're still cutting wrestlers. And it's just like, what the fuck? What are we doing? And they didn't go all out. Like, let's really talk about it. No, because let's really have a conversation here. Last night didn't feel like a WrestleMania at all. Now, I see people talking about it was Monday to Saturday Night Raw, Saturday Night SmackDown, Saturday Night's main event. It felt like a Saturday Night's main event. But literally, that's why it didn't feel like WrestleMania, Monty. There was no special entrances, barely any special entrances. Oh, you know what the special entrances were, Monty? They were video
someone
packages.
pulling up in a no. It was someone pulling up in a car, bro.
Exactly. Somebody pulling up in a Rolls Royce.
That's weak, man.
Somebody
that's
pulling
$1
up in a
billion
Rolls,
company, you know.
So fucking LA Knight pulling up in a Maserati. All of these niggas pulling up in cars, and it's just like, where's WrestleMania?
But I was waiting. So it's like the first match happens, and it's like Jey had like the people come out onto the stage with the flags and stuff, and he made his entrance through the crowd, you know? Like, I wouldn't class that, it was different to normal, but I wouldn't class that as like a big special WrestleMania entrance. I just wouldn't, bro. Then there was just nothing. There was like, everyone was just having these normal entrances. And like LA Knight pulled up in a car. I think Charlotte pulled up in a car. The best entrance and the only one that I'd class as like a real WrestleMania entrance was Tiffany Stratton's, bro, which I did think was really cool. But it's like, we didn't get anywhere near enough of that sort of stuff, you know, the pomp and circumstance again, bro. It's just, that's a big part of the magic of WrestleMania. So like, just to kind of sway off topic a little, but not even off topic, but just kind of divert a little bit. It's like, my girl knows it's WrestleMania this weekend, and I'm not seeing her till Tuesday. And one of the main things she said to me, when I see you on Tuesday, show me all the cool entrances. Bruv, I've got nothing to show her. I got nothing to show her, bro. I got nothing.
You're just like, well,
I got nothing. Pockets empty, bro.
What happened was, see, where are all the cool entrances? Oh no, but didn't have no real cool entrances. But look at this cool Jade video package. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, they're just You know what this reminds me of? No, because even at WrestleMania 31, like, John Cena's special entrance, right, was just a video package about, this is America. America rules. America really, really good. But then you saw Rusev, like, 10 minutes beforehand, coming out in a fucking tank. Like,
that's
he
what I'm
came out in
saying.
a whole fucking tank. And it's just like, I don't care about your fucking Maserati, nigga. I don't give a fuck. You see, like, I could go to California right now and see like 8 niggas driving a Maserati. Oh my god, so fucking cool. Like, I want pop. I want circumstance. Why didn't LA Knight have some sort of fucking, even like if he had the big blow up fucking letters like Miz had at WrestleMania when he did the LA Knight shit, or like when New Day used to come out of the cereal boxes. That would have been fucking cool. But like, nigga, we're just driving cars. If I wanted to watch a nigga drive a car, I'd watch NASCAR. I don't watch NASCAR. So like, I don't understand. Like, it felt last night with WrestleMania. We haven't even gotten to the matches. We haven't even gotten to the matches yet at all. And it's just like, I seen somebody say last night, "Oh, AEW ruined the perception of pay-per-views because they think you're supposed to go all out on pay-per-view." Nigga, it is WrestleMania. What are you talking about? What are you talking? It's not like this is Payback or fucking Great Balls of Fire or fucking stomping grounds. This is
Fastlane.
WrestleMania. WrestleMania. And niggas are sitting here talking about why they think you're supposed to go all out and super hard and crazy at WrestleMania. Like, what? What? What are we talking about?
It was crazy, bro. Like I said, they did a couple cars, then they did the Tiffany one, then obviously the main event, CM Punk coming out with Heyman, with coming out to cult of personality live performance as well. Like that was really cool, you know. But like I said, we're talking the main chunk of the card up until the main event. Because even Seth Rollins' entrance was kind of cool. I won't class it as like a special WrestleMania one, but it was cool. It was cool pay-per-view worthy, big match worthy, you know. But you weren't quite a special WrestleMania one. You get me? You weren't like the top two. I'd say were clearly Punk and Tiffany Stratton, like clearly, But yeah, man, I do think they were kind of lacking there. But the thing is, like Rob will say, like WWE are broke. They're not broke. They're just greedy, bro. Like if it is true that they are looking to like tighten the budgets on the pyro and the entrances and stuff, applying that principle to WrestleMania is cheap as fuck, bro. It's WrestleMania, fam. Like we gotta blow the budget, bro.
But don't be charged if you're gonna do that. Don't charge niggas $1,000 to sit in the seat. What the fuck?
So Triple H sitting up there last night talking about, we set a record for a one night show in WWE history, the biggest gate ever, and you know, I think he even did like the thing where he looked at his watch, he was like, I think that's gonna last about 24 hours. It's just like, bro, fam, like,
I don't get it.
Come on, bro.
Oh come on, God, bro. Like I don't understand, bro. Like, and yo. Whoever these current producers and agents are, it's time. Yo, you learn to leave the football before the football leaves you. All right, it's time. Yo, TJ Wilson, you had a great run.
Oh, come on, bro.
Bobby Roode,
anyway.
You had a great run.
We'll talk about some producers and agenting as we go along, I think. But the gist of what I was saying anyway, the main point is it didn't really feel like Mania until the main event, which I did feel delivered big. And it also got the big memorable angle at the end as well. So they did end the show on a big high note, which is obviously the most important thing, to be honest, bro. It's the most important part of the show to get right, and they did. But the undercard was just lacking in certain aspects, in my opinion. Not a bad show, but far from being one of like the top great WrestleManias. So let's get into it. Actually, you know what, bro? We got a couple super chats. Keep on coming, and we will get through them as we do this recap. So super chat is now, I will never say $5. Jade had a better performance than Jey. Also, shout out to Oba, Trick, Javon. Oba and Javon, but Trick did good as well. Fuck it, he's better than Jey Uso too. Come on, bro. Just let Jey Uso just enjoy his moment, fam.
I don't know what performance you watched. But I'll wait till we get to that match, the Naomi match, because it was a Naomi match, because Naomi did most of the work. But I'll wait till we get to that Naomi match to talk about that performance. Also, shout out to Trick. Yes, that match was great. The triple threat main event of Stand and Deliver was like great. Some people were sitting there being like, yo, the main event of WrestleMania got some work to do because of that main event. That main event was awesome. Shout out to all three of those black men, Triple H. Shout out to all three of those black men for going out there and showing that, you know, black men do have talent, despite what Triple H likes to say. But hey. Yo, Trick, you know what annoys me about Trick, Monty? Actually,
what annoys you about Trick, fam? What's he done to you?
Trick Williams. Javon went for a leg sweep, and Trick Williams just so easily, so naturally, just does a standing black flip in the ring. And I'm just like, you can't do this on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you should be cracked out like ACH or Rich Swann or all those guys doing backflips, but it's just like, you can't add like a tope to your game or something, bro. You can't like know what I mean? Like you can't.
No,
like,
but have you? Yeah, but listen though, when it comes to our guy Trick Williams, he has done like a toe pay and shit before, yeah. But go back and watch him, bro. Have you seen how scared he looks when when he's in the air, bro? He don't like flying,
yeah,
bro. Like he's a great
yeah.
athlete. I'm sure he can do it. Like Rob said yesterday, he just backed out a backflip yesterday out of nowhere. Like he's a great athlete, bro. But I've seen him do some of those dives and some of those toe pays, and he does not look comfy when he's in the air, bro. Like he's a funny guy. But yeah, shout out them
bro.
for
I noticed though he had to go all the way down before he went for that backflip too. Like he had to make sure his feet were set. So,
yeah.
but man, I just feel like he wouldn't get the amount of backlash he does if he just did a little bit more.
Yeah, obviously.
Just do
if his offense was a lot more
flashy.
flashier, then people would naturally be they'd start trying to bring up the in-ring stuff in him. I think overall he has progressed slightly, probably not to the level as like a lot of people would have wanted him to, considering his position as like a main eventer in NXT. But I do think he has come along, and I do think he's at I do think he is at a like passable, watchable level. You know, like I think he can do a shift on the main roster. I think he can do it, man. I think
I feel like he should get called up like next year, but this next year should be like him, like actually working on improving his game to
work rate trick.
Work rate trick, bro, because that's what they do.
For real, bro.
Well, that's not what they do on the main roster, really, but
Yeah, but for real, to the trick kind of work rate thing, it's like when he won that before he dropped it to Obafemi, like that second reign that he was having, I was hoping like, all right, this is the reign where you get him in there with loads of good in-ring guys and you polish his in-ring skills, and you get him, you really level him up in that regard. But they didn't, bro. They had him like doing mad shit like the Eddie Thorpe stuff, and they did some like other like proper shitty feud as well. And I don't know if the Eddie Thorpe stuff, the Eddie Thorpe match was actually
like 3
the Eddie
minutes.
Thorpe thing was after he like dropped the belt, but like he was involved with him whilst he had the belt, and it's just like someone will have to pull it up. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up right now. Actually, Trick Williams' title defenses in his second reign, because they were not what they needed to be, bro. Like at all. And I like Trick Williams a lot. I actually do believe in the guy. But alright, so Obafemi defeats Eddie Thorpe and Trick Williams. Okay, NXT title, Eddie Thorpe, double pin. Remember that shit, bro? That was, bro. Ridge Holland, there you go, bro. Eddie Thorpe and Ridge Holland is who this guy was wrestling when I wanted him wrestling like.
Ridge Holland single-handedly held back NXT for 3 months. For 3 months, it was the Ridge Holland show, and it was some of the worst TV in NXT's history. Yes, worse than 2.0. Worse than 2.0.
Not good shit, bro.
At least 2.0 had like good Roddy matches and good, like, you know what I mean? Like at least 2.0 had good Roddy matches, good Mellow matches, swerve matches before he left. But nigga, oh my god. Yo.
Yeah, it's messy. See, that was a messy period, bro. Messy period. Hopefully we're on the other side of it, but like you can tell Sean, you can still tell Sean like has some sort of like, he still values Ridge as like as a heel on the NXT roster. You can tell by like he was one of the stepping stones that Ricky had to get past before he got his North American title match. You get me? So like, Sean still sees some value in that guy. I kind of think it's a bit of a dead project, but I don't want to I don't want to go in on the guy. He's not even fucking wrestled recently, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing, we're not even reviewing him right now. So.
Sean, you holding on to that Gucci bag a little bit too long, bro. Just let it go. It's over.
Ryan, $2.79 Canadian. Honk. Yeah, man.
I liked the Hank and Tank Walker performance yesterday, and I like them as a tag team. Obviously, as Ebu tweeted yesterday, I think obviously Tank is the better one. But I do like them as a tag team.
Broly, 199. Excuse me if I botched that, bro. Time for a change in the main roster producers. All right, bro. Let's pull up the PW Insider report yesterday, because they reported during the show who all the producers were. So
they did.
yeah, they did, bro. They did. No, I don't think anybody aggregated it because it was on the elite side, so it isn't like it's not as common as like Fightful Select. You get me? But all right. So the it's not in order, but I'm just gonna read them out in the order that the articles got them right. So Rey Phoenix versus El Grande Americano was produced / agented by Nick Aldis and Sean Devari. Jade Cargill versus Naomi was produced by Jason Jordan and Petey Williams. The United States Championship match between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu was produced by Kenny Dykstra, Kenny Dykstra and Shane Helms.
Shout out to Kenny and Shane Helms. That was a good match. Shut up.
And then we got the New Day versus the War Raiders. That was Abyss and Adam Pearce. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair was produced by TJ Wilson and Molly Holly. Gunther versus Jey Uso. This one hurt me, I can't lie. Jey Uso versus Gunther was produced by Bobby Roode.
No way.
Anyway, and then Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins was produced by Michael Hayes.
Oh, okay.
No, it's always Michael Hayes and Jamie Noble.
Okay. I was about to say, yo, don't tell me one of them bum ass niggas that be producing them bad matches produce that shit, cause I'll get sad. Yo, Bobby.
Hey, man.
You blow my mind. Listen, man. Listen, man. It was a fun time, Bobby. It was a fun time. You gotta, bro. This is crazy, bro. I can't believe this. Yeah. Michael, y'all letting Michael hit. Y'all wrestled. No. Because a lot of you niggas wrestled in the best in-ring work rate era in pro wrestling ever, which was the 2000s and the early 2010s. And you mean to tell me that you niggas produced some of that bullshit that you produced last night? And you let Michael Hayes produce a better match than you?
Listen, Michael Hayes, the less we say about him outside of the ring.
Kenny Dykstra never won a championship.
The less we say about Michael Pierce Hayes outside of the ring and talk about him as an actual human being is one thing, you know. But as a producer, his work with the Bloodline has been like pretty like flawless, to be honest. So.
Kenny Dykstra got no rings. What are you doing, bro?
We got another. According to PW Insider, I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but I like to think our audience wouldn't be too upset about this one. But it's only about an entrance anyway, since we were just talking about it. So Damian Priest is, according to PW Insider Elite, Damian Priest will be getting a big entrance tonight at WrestleMania 41 Night 2. PW Insider Elite has confirmed. Slayers, Kerry King will be playing Priest to the ring versus Drew McIntyre. Obviously, man don't know about all them genres there, but good for him, bro. You know?
No. I think that's good for him. Actually, that's actually I was gonna say for what, but I think that's a good thing for him. And he gets Slayer in the building. Shout out to Slayer. So
there you go. All right. So that's the producers and a little Damian Priest tidbit from PW Insider. Ryan 2079, appreciate you, brother. 2 years in a row, Stand and Deliver beats Night 1. I ain't got authority to talk on that because I can't actually remember both of those shows vividly enough.
Well, no. Stand and Deliver. Oh, you said 2 years in a row. I was about to say Stand and Deliver 2023 was okay, but Night 1 in 2023, nothing is touching Night 1 in 2023. Since that WrestleMania, so I get it. But yeah, you know, it is what it is.
Dre on this 199. What they gone saying now? Hashtag burn it down. Hashtag he's a Paul Heyman guy. Big angle, bro. Big night for the Seth Rollins fans. What did Isra tweeted something that made me laugh? Like
she was like, "This is the greatest night." She's like, "This is the greatest night of my entire life."
yeah, something like that. Let me just pull it up, bro. Isra, man, she ain't been on a podcast in time. This is the single greatest moment of my life, I think. Seth Rollins, you just saved my life. But yeah, man, she was, like I said, big night for the Seth Rollins people. Big night for them, bro. Corey David, $5. Appreciate you as always. Shout out to Oba, Javon, Trick, Hank, and Tank. Also, the women killed it. Trick shows up in the big matches. He does have some good big match performances, but he also has some big match, I wouldn't say stinkers, but like he's had big matches where we wanted him to do better, So
yeah,
he does have some good big matches under his belt, but at the same time, in NXT he's had a lot of big matches now, So, Black Yakuza 94, $5. Appreciate you as always. I feel like Jade's lost confidence in her performances lately. Ironically, her matches since her return have been better. Still not great, but yeah, we'll talk about the Jade match. She's not perfect, but I think there's come on, bro. I like Jade. I think she brings something different to the table. You get me? So we'll talk about it though. Berserk, $10. Appreciate you as always. First WrestleMania in a while where I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing. Skipped most of the first half. Happy for Melo, but it feels like a damn win. Funny PR week. Also, shout out the Tariff Chief.
Tariff Chief, yo, what a week of PR. Yo, first it was what happened first, Monty? I forgot. First, it was Nick Khan being like, yo, AEW fucking sucks if you really think about it. He's like, yo, what the fuck they got going on?
He was like, yeah, shout out Shad Khan, though. Like,
he's like, yo, Shad Khan
nasty guy.
And he goes, Shad Khan a beast. And then
he was like, we don't bench people.
And then Triple H is like, I'm not saying that Trump is a good guy, but he's a heel. And that's how heels work. And then it's him being like, yo, y'all stop being fucking critics and be a fan. God damn. And then Roman Reigns the next day, he's like, I like Trump. No, keep in mind, Monty. Nobody asked. Nobody said, yo, what's your political position? Nobody said, who did you vote for? He was like, I fuck with Trump. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And then John Cena being like, and Cena being like, I love Vince McMahon. I still love Vince McMahon. And he just goes, I don't care who is it. I love Vince McMahon. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, fuck, stop.
I don't know what's going on over there, bro. I don't know what's going on over there, but they had a weird PR week, bro. I don't know who's checking over these interviews before they get published or before they go live, but yo, some of those videos could have done with some editing.
It's not like niggas in the locker room don't agree. It's just that they don't care enough to say it. They don't care enough to be like, yo, this is who I fuck with. So
that's the truth of it, isn't it, bro? Like, that is the truth of it, bro. Like, I'm fully aware. Like, I ain't naive. Like, I ain't a dickhead, bro. Like, I am fully aware that in all of wrestling, bro, I'm not even gonna relegate this down to just WWE and AEW or just WWE or whatever, bro. Like, in all of wrestling, a lot of these people, bro, it's America. Like, in the US, I'm not surprised if I find out that somebody voted for Trump. Is he a guy that I would have voted for if I lived in the US? I don't know. I very much doubt it, bro. Like that. I very much doubt it. But it's like, bro, like half the country voted for him. So bro, obviously, this is what this. It's like last time he was in office, bro. It's like I don't get how people act so stunned and shocked when somebody says that they support Trump or voted for Trump or whatever. It's like, bro, literally half your country voted for him. That's how he's the president. Like, so how are we acting surprised? Like,
bro, but you know what it was with me, Monty. I told people, bro, I'm a UFC fan, bro. I watch some of my favorite fighters knock niggas out, and they see Trump in the audience, and they go over there and start jigging for that nigga like they're Becky Lynch in NXT. So like I'm not like surprised when a wrestler comes on and is like, you know what, I actually really fuck with Trump. There's like 90% of the fighters that I like be like, yo, I love Trump. But it's just John Jones tapped the nigga out, or didn't he knock him out? I think he knocked Miocic out, right? He knocked him out, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
I think he did.
The fight was so fucking boring. But he fucking knocked. He knocked him out, and then he walked over. First thing he did. And he pointed at Trump and he started doing the Trump dance. And it's just like, bro, fuck. Like, so yeah, man, I'm not surprised. It sucks. Like, does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. And like, I don't like.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm happy about it. It's not.
Like, it's
a lot
like,
of
I'll cry about it, but it's just like, bro, like, Am I surprised?
Yeah, so I got obviously doing all this WrestlePurist stuff and these live streams. I got a lot of friends in the US. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, I'm not happy about it. But I guess to my point of it is, again, I'm not naive. I know a lot of people fought with Trump or voted for him or vote for that party. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't stun me when people are lean that way politically or whatever. It's more so like when they come out and they say in an interview, it's like, bro, just. We don't need to talk about all that. You get me?
especially with Roman, niggas didn't ask you. Nobody asked, and he was just like, "Yeah, bro, that's who I rock with. Cry about it."
Yeah, he wasn't like Rob's already said. All the super chat said they've WWE had quite a weird PR week this week, bro. But Christian Ray $10. Seth FC rise the fuck up. They said we'd be in a cook chair. Andre the Giant. Seth got a dope ass entrance. Pin the original tariff chief. AJ took that chain. Thanks, guys. Love heart. Appreciate you. It sounds like you enjoyed that main event, bro. So I'm happy for you. Ryan $2.79. Appreciate you as always. Shout out LA. Legit win for Jacob. Always solid on pay-per-view. Yeah, man. They delivered there, bro. Dare I say over-delivered. Black Yakuza 94 $5. Bloodline / Roman FC is in shambles right now. 2 Mania losses in a row and the complete disillusion of the OG Bloodline. This is worse than last year. See, in a kayfabe sense, yeah, you are. You're in the mud right now. Roman's got nobody. You get me? He's in the mud. But I guess kind of like in a shoot sense, like Roman was the best performer in that match, I thought, last night, bro. Like, obviously, we'll get into it, but he had a hell of a performance last night, bro. So,
you're
up in that regard, you know. He said your goat still got it, you know. Them ones, like it was one of them.
All you niggas all WrestleMania season that was dick eating, talking about, I don't know, man. I just don't think Roman has it anymore. Roman, that Roman guy, the tribal chief, huh? Yeah, and he went out there and had a better performance than your favorite wrestlers, nigga. Cry about it. He had
Ibby's not even here to defend himself, bro. Like, Ibby's not here to defend himself. You're sending shots, bro. This is.
No, bro,
anyway.
Niggas was dick eating all Mania season, bro. Talking about that just because they was in the ring cutting a couple emotional promos, dick eating, talking about, I just don't think Roman really has it anymore, guys. Some people have surpassed Roman, and he went out there. He might have a better performance than Cody Rhodes tonight. We'll see. Oh, Cody Rhodes. Let's not get it fucked up. Just because Roman got pinned doesn't mean Cody isn't. So let's not get it confused. Cody is getting pinned.
Roman had to get pinned, man. It's like we didn't do like a big prediction show, but I think I was talking to either Joe or Ibu about this, and I was just like, I could see Roman getting pinned, but I thought it would be like Heyman going with CM Punk. And I was like, because if they do the thing where Heyman fucks over Roman Reigns, then Roman has to get pinned, bro. Like, to make that angle hit. But obviously they did that, but just with Seth Rollins whilst also fucking over CM Punk as well. But if they were going to do the big Heyman angle, whoever he goes with, like, Roman was always going to have to eat the pin in that situation. You get me? So, but yeah, man, 2 Mania losses in a row for Roman. But, you know, he hasn't been stinking them up, though, bro. His performance level in these Mania matches have been very, very good, bro, the last 3 years. So, yeah, man. Broadway Joe $2. They gave Naomi a heavy metal fiend ? You looking that way though, bro? I liked her little the tape entrance that she had. You know, they could have done something that could be cooler with it. You know, but like, you know, a little this whole caution tape.
Caution tape entrance not in the budget.
Jar Flakes $1.99. We don't bench talent. Yeah, man, that was probably the worst thing. Like Nick Khan taking all those little like, you know, those little shots at like AEW, but like there were little shots like they were small enough that he could get away with saying that. Oh no, I wasn't taking shots at them. You know, you're reading too much into it, but they blatantly were. You know, like when you were shouting out Shad Khan and stuff like that. You know, but I think the worst thing you said in that interview was. Was that about we don't bench talent, like a blatant lie, bro?
Fucking what are you talking about? Yo, we are actively We actively asked for a year to see Dragon Lee. We are actively asking to see Andrade on TV. By the way, haven't seen Andrade on TV. Like, what are we talking about? Why are you lying? Who asked you to lie?
Vernacular 499.
Santos doesn't wrestle anymore.
Vernacular 499. Everything worked a bit better in the building, but the matches were def underwhelming. We'll never forget that main event though, even though we even got this fire burns. Yeah, man, that video package for CM Punk before his entrance was it was really cool, man. It was really cool.
Right.
Come on, bro. Sometimes you just gotta like, you just gotta let me you gotta let me put it over, you get me?
Nah, it was cool.
Man.
It was cool. It was cool.
Alright, so WrestleMania Night 1. Let's get into this card then. Finally, 40 minutes into this thing. Alright, Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against the 2025 Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso. I was going into this really hopeful. Like, really, really hopeful. I was like, I know what Jey Uso's limitations are. Like, I'm not going to lie to myself about him as a singles performer, But I also know the stratosphere that the ring general Gunther can take mans to, And with Jey, we've even seen glimpses of that. Like, they've had some good matches in the past. Like, I think the Saturday night main event might be the best one. I think that's the one that we all circle as the best one. I can't remember, my memory's shit. But they've had a really, really good match, and I just wanted this Mania match to be kind of like an extension of that version, And what they went for in this match was they got the layout all wrong. Like, I think they got the layout completely wrong. That's why I was kind of like a little hurt when I seen that our guy Bobby Roode was producing this, because what they went for basically was the story of kind of like Jey has now reached a point where he can go toe to toe with Gunther now, and that's basically what they did. They went back and forth. Gunther would hit a big bomb, and you'd think, okay, he's going to settle into the heat now. And Jey would then get one back, and it would go back and forth, and they'd go back and forth like that. And I was just really waiting and hoping for Gunther to settle into one of his great, brutal heat segments, and basically just beat the shit out of Jey, kill all hope, make it look like all hope is lost, have Jade staring at death's door in the face, draw it out, bro. Like, I'm waiting for this part, like this meat of the match, and it just doesn't come. Gunther does eventually work a bit of a heat segment after he hits Jey with the belt. Like, he cheats, he gets the belt, hits Jey with the belt, and he gets a little bit of a heat segment. But even Jey, he comes back from that relatively quick as well, bro. And it's just like, let Gunther be Gunther, bro, and beat this babyface up. You know what I'm saying? Just let him beat the shit out of this babyface, bro. Make the fans really just get behind Jey, because the fans are behind Jey, and there was even in the tiny little bits of heat in this, the fans would get behind Jey every single time, you get me? So it's like, there was never any worry of the crowd dying if Gunther took too much control. That was never ever going to be an issue. It's not an issue with someone like Gunther anyway, because he's so good at the heat segments, bro. He makes you he makes you like invest in him, because his offense just looks so good. Again, we just didn't really get this. Jey's comebacks were happening too frequently and too often and too quickly. And again, we didn't really get to see Gunther just be Gunther, I think Ibu said yesterday, like, it would have been cool if, like, Jey's on death's door, Jimmy comes, no, Jey's on death's door, Gunther's got him in a Boston crab, it looks like he might tap, Jimmy comes out, and spurs him on and motivates him, he's like, come on, Jey, or something like that, that kind of emotional level was never like reached in this match, and I think it really needed to, and it should have, and it really would have benefited off. It's what I was waiting for, it's what I was hoping for, and we never really got it. But yeah, like I said, Gunther got a little bit of heat after the belt shot, but again, that wasn't really enough. Jey's big comeback in the end was like Jey hitting all of Gunther's moves and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he like the powerbomb actually looked really cool. Like, there is holes in the way Jey's offense looks, bro. Like, his spear looks like shit. Sometimes his strikes can be a little loose and stuff like that. Like, I'm not, again, like I said at the start of my review, like, I know the limitations of Jey's offense, bro, and his in-ring work. You get me,
but there's a way.
I feel you play to it. There's a way to play to it.
The Saturday night's main event match. I know a lot of people didn't like that match. Talking about the latest one. The Saturday night's main event one, Like, I know people really didn't like that match, but that match was really good. Like, despite all of Jay's like cons, that match was really, really good. And I just don't, I don't know. But continue. Continue before I give my thoughts.
Yeah, it just didn't. It never reached that like emotional peak for me that I really wanted it to, and I didn't think it was like a bad match. I just thought it was poorly laid out. You know, the crowd was obviously with it the whole time. It had a lot of good heat to it. Gunther would get booed, Jey would get cheered. Um, you know, and obviously the big moment at the end where Jey gets the win, like the free Uso splashes, it actually did pop me. You know, finally getting the free Uso splashes, that did pop me. But I saw a lot of people very, very negative on the finish of Jey. Like I said, Jey was using a lot of Gunther's moves to beat Gunther. Then eventually, the final nail in the coffin was after the three Uso splashes. Gets him in the rear naked choke, and Gunther taps out to Jey Uso, bro. And the visual of that, I get it, bro. Like, I get it. Like, that is a crazy visual and a crazy sentence that just came out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? But you know, some people, I do think some people have been a little dramatic about it because it's just like, Gunther's gonna be okay, bro. And obviously they wanted to make the moment as impactful as possible. Is it the finish I would have done? Nah, I would have just done the three Uso splashes and probably would have just done the three Uso splashes, bro. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I want a fan of it, but I didn't think it was like crash out material because I thought Gunther did what he needed to do in this match, and I'd be a bit more worried if I was like concerned that Gunther will like drop down the card or some shit now, you know, and they've done that finish that makes him look not as strong as you'd like to see Gunther be presented. And you'd obviously there would be kind of like a worry then that might be like a reoccurring trend, but I think they were just really trying to make this moment as like significant as possible, you know, and so I don't really have too many like worries about it. But it was a crazy visual, and it isn't the finish I would have booked in that way, but Jey obviously had to win this. Been saying this the whole time. And yeah, man, the moment with Jimmy coming out at the end, it was really cool and heartwarming. But the match I really wanted this match to be good, bro. But it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. So, Rob, where are you? What you want to add?
All right. I didn't hate the match as much as everybody else did. I didn't think it was gonna be some sort of 5-star classic. I was hoping it was going to be like, not saying that I was hoping Jey was gonna bust out some fucking moves that we've never seen before. You know what I mean? And like all that kind of shit. But I wanted the Saturday Night's main event match, but a different kind of level of violence to it. Like somebody said in the chat, I don't remember who it was, but both men did promise blood, and we didn't get. It was Rosho. He said promised blood from both guys, and we got none. And like that's true. We got promised blood from both men. We didn't get any blood at all whatsoever. So that annoyed me. Cause Gunther, nigga, you're not doing any movies anytime soon, nigga. Blade. So like, yeah, like I don't know, run the blade or do a blood packet. I don't care. Just do one of them. But that was annoying. And then we go into the match, and like I love the violence in the match from Gunther. Like he did beat the shit out of Jey Uso, but not to the extent that he should have beat him to the extent that he beat Jimmy. Like to the extent that to the extent that he beat Jimmy. But I did like the match. I liked the match a lot more than everybody else did. But I do the finish though. I didn't really like the way they did the finish. I feel like I don't have a necessary problem with the Gunther tapping because, as somebody pointed out on Twitter, that's kind of his weakness. Like him getting put in a submission is kind of his weakness. It happened with Ilya Dragunov, and I know, oh, you're comparing Ilya Dragunov to Jey Uso. I don't give a fuck. Cry. It's the same concept. I feel like Gunther should have tried to get the one upper hand on him after the 3 splashes, and then Jey should have countered into something, beat him up one more time, and then put on the splash. I mean the super, because that's what Ilya did. Ilya beat the fuck out of him to the extent to where when he finally did put on the rear naked choke, that's when he finally tapped out. Like he hit him with like 3 different torpedo Moscows to the back of the head and kept chopping him in the back of the fucking neck. And so like I feel like that finish was the right finish, but it was executed the wrong way. So, but all in all, I did like Jey getting his moment. It was inevitable that Jey getting his moment. I don't know why anybody's crashing on the timeline like Roman Reigns would let his fucking cousin lose at WrestleMania after all the work he did to build him up to this point. So, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't get people who were like, honestly, look, if you don't want to see Jey Uso as your world champion, like I can get that, bro. Like again, I'm not I'm not blind to these things, you know what I'm saying? But the idea that like people were actually saying that like Gunther should win is like, what? Like, have you watched any of the TV?
Yeah, it was kind of it was kind of just like the finish was like mad random. It was just like what? Like, oh, like
Yeah,
he taps out like that. No, because he tapped out fast to Ilya, but it was like it wasn't as the like I said, the submission execution wasn't as violent as Ilya's was.
Yeah, man. So obviously Rob probably a little bit higher on it than I am, but at the same time, I don't think it was a terrible match, but it disappointed me. You know, like
Yeah.
I wanted more. I wanted more, and the layout just didn't. I kept getting frustrated because it was like, you know, like Gunther would hit like, I don't know, one of his cool drop kicks or some shit. Yeah, and I'd think, all right, this is it now. Gunther's about to beat this guy down. You get me? And then Jay would hit a move, like Jay would hit a counter like 2 moves later, you know, and it would just be like, fuck, when are we gonna settle into the heat, man? But anyway, Jay's our world champion. Shout out Jay, I love
Let's
Jay
go.
also, bro. So I will be rooting for him to have good matches and good creative during this title reign.
No, good creative.
Anyway,
man.
right, next match on the card was the tag title match. New Day win number 12 from the War Raiders. Decent little match, to be honest, bro. Nothing overly special, which in itself, even though it wasn't a terrible match, I can see why fans would have hoped for a lot more, you know, especially with the New Days. Ever since like the New Day did that huge angle with Big E a few months ago, but with this, it's like, obviously, the assumption is that when they did that big angle with Big E, there was a hope that maybe there will be some Big E involvement. And when it became clear that he couldn't do any involvement really, the New Day were kind of just left floating creatively. So they were put into this creative, and now they're 12-time champions. And maybe they probably would have been 12-time champions at Mania anyway, but there would have been like more juice to the story getting there, you know. But yeah, like things just didn't kind of fall into place for them. So I do kind of understand the disappointment in wanting, kind of hoping that angle would have led to something a lot more significant, you know. But and it still might, you know, it still might one day. Things might fall into place one day, and I hope it does. You get me? But this was kind of just a match that happened. I thought, Rob, where are you?
Yeah, it was just it was a really like, and I hate saying this about a New Day match at WrestleMania. It felt like a Raw match on a WrestleMania, which is funny because they had a Raw match like 2 weeks ago, but like it felt like a Raw match on WrestleMania. Ibu was definitely right in the terms of like it should have been a pirate ship match or some sort of plunder match, but I hate this philosophy that WWE has that you can't do too many plunder matches. Shut up. I don't care. Like some matches call for plunder matches. Like that's what annoyed me about the 6-man tag Stand and Deliver yesterday. I just watched these all 6 of these guys try to kill each other on Tuesday, and now I'm watching
in the
them
parking
grapple.
lot.
Yeah, now I'm watching that. Tag me.
The cinematic parking lot match they did on Tuesday.
That was cool. That was gas. Like they just whooped each other's ass for like 5 minutes, and then they go to NXT Stand and Deliver, and it's like tag me. So it's like, what are we doing? But yeah, that match was not good. And I don't know.
But yeah, man. All right, let's. I've got 2 super chats, so I'm just gonna bang them out real quick before we get to the rest of the card. Leo Fox 499. Not one was very soft. A very soft 6 for me. Lackluster matches, low energy, and lack of mania feeling like mania. Too much focus on odd PR and shots at AEW. Yeah, man. Black Yakuza 94 $5. Seth is snatching that title from Jay within a month, isn't he? He might, bro. And I know I just said I want Jay to have a good creative and have a nice little do good stuff right now, but I wouldn't be super against Jay dropping super soon. You know, as long as it's not some like horseshit wrestle crap.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what wrestling is all about anyway. It's about the chase. It's not about the reign. It's about the chase.
Especially for characters like Jay, bro. So I won't be mad at him having a
The Rock
really
has
short
never
reign.
The Rock has never had, I don't think, a WWE championship run over 100 days.
Sounds about right, to be honest, bro. All of his reigns combined come to something like ridiculously small, you know. But anyway, okay, so next match on the card was Naomi versus Jade Cargill, and I'll be honest, bro. I felt like this delivered what it needed to in that moment. Naomi guided Jade through a watchable match, like a pro, you know. And then there was some cool big spots sprinkled throughout, you know, like Jade the catch suplex, the big power bomb thing at the end. Jade gets a win, which I think she had to. I get people wanting Naomi to win because she's killed it so much in this heel role that she's been in. She's the better wrestler, you know. But with the way they've told this story, Jade losing here would have made it look crazy. They couldn't have done it. I'm interested to see what they have next for both women, especially Naomi, because like I just said, she's been so good as a heel. Actually, very invested in seeing where this goes for her. Hope she continues to be in featured prominent positions. And yeah, I think she deserves something good, bro. But I thought this match was pretty inoffensive considering how like this could have been a disaster, bro. Let's be real. Like this could have been a disaster, you know, and it wasn't. So
yeah.
So where are you at, Rob? Because I know.
Okay. I want to clarify. I want to clarify with what I said last night. Maybe I was a bit too harsh. Okay, I said. I just found it. I said never seen a more one person is clearly working around the other performance. Naomi needs more than a steak dinner after having to carry that to a 1.5, which was very harsh. I'll be honest.
That is harsh.
It was more like a 2.5. But you would think with all that time off, you would think you'd come back better than before. But yeah, stop posting training clips when they're clearly not being applied in the ring. And what I meant by that was, bro.
That's just me.
Like, some people said, right? Some people said last night, and it's not, guys, I don't hate, like, Jade. I don't have an agenda against Jade Cargill. I don't hate Jade Cargill. My issue is, and my aggravation is, right? It's all the whining and complaining from, Jade Cargill, let's really talk about it. A lot of wrestlers that have been wrestling as long as or shorter than Jade Cargill doesn't get the same amount of grace that Jade Cargill does when she's been doing this for 5 years. She's been doing this for 5 years. Her first match is in 2020. She's been doing this for 5 years.
When you say grace,
what I mean
do you mean from like The Office or do you mean from fans?
Not even from The Office. I mean from fans, bro. Like she doesn't get the same. A lot of people that have been wrestling for like 2 years, 3 years don't get the same amount of grace that she does. It's just like she's out there and Naomi's having to lead her through spots and Naomi's having to guide her through spots. And I know Naomi's like the 10-year veteran or whatever, but she's like, it's getting to a point where she has to like literally physically move her into another spot. And it's just like, and I'm watching this and I'm just like this does not look crazy. And then people are still saying, well, she still needs to get better. She's not as good. Motherfucker, she's been doing this 5 years. Like at this point, why does she get more grace than a lot of other wrestlers get? It's not like I have an agenda against her. I don't hate her as a person or a human being. I could give a fuck about her as a human being to me because this is just wrestling. But it's just like, bro, she's not good and she's not getting better, and it's okay. But it's just like, dude. I mean, like exactly like we complain about Hook and Julia Hart every week, but Jade does not get the same amount of complaint. It's she's getting better when she's clearly botching spots. She's getting better, or she just needs more work and more time when she's clearly botching spots and fucking up springboards and she's out there and Naomi has to move. Y'all talking about Charlotte had to move Tiffany Stratton and guide her into another spot. I'm watching Naomi physically doing that with Jade Cargill. And it's just like, dude, that match was good, but it was not because of her. Naomi, there was spots where you could literally tell Naomi, you know what I compared it to, Monty? You know how when you got an older wrestler, right, that's physically immobile. Like, not physically immobile. I'm not going to say she's physically immobile, but it's like They aren't as mobile as they used to be. So the kind of younger wrestler has to kind of move around them in a certain manner to kind of like make the match seem better than what it is, be better than what it has to be. That's what it was last night. And I'm not saying I'm not the only one that was saying this. I'm not the only one that has been saying these things about y'all act like I'm the only one that's been saying these things about Jade Cargill. There are people who were fans of Jade Cargill when she got to WWE that are saying the same thing as me. So it's not that I have an agenda against Jade Cargill. It's not like I hate Jade Cargill's fucking guts and want her to die. There's other people in the business that I actually do. I'm not gonna name them because I don't want to get shot. But yeah, that's the point. Do I want Jade Cargill to get better and improve? Like, yeah, sure. But I'm not about to sit here and sugarcoat it and act like she's doing the best work of her life or anything, or she's better than what she used, or not used to be, but she's better than she is, because she's not. She's just not, and it's okay. People will be like, Rob's hate of Jade Cargill is weird. Rob's very weird about Jade Cargill. I criticize her the same way I criticize a lot of other people, white or black. So where did that come from? Yeah, I see some niggas being like, "Oh, Rob very." I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we actually?" It's not. That's another thing they do, Monty. When you sit here and you criticize Jade Cargill, a lot of people that like they used to do that when she was in AEW. We used to criticize her. They used to be like, "Oh, you're being anti-black." No, it has nothing to do with her being black. Like that has nothing. It's like when you criticize Effie, and then the first thing people could say is you're homophobic. It has nothing to do with Effie being gay, bro. He just sucks. And like that's what it is with Jade Cargill. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. She's just not that good. So Lash has gotten better than Jade and less time as a wrestler. And it's not even about comparing a black woman to another black woman. Lash has been doing this shorter than Jade Cargill has.
So the Lash. So okay, this is what I'll say. I think since she signed for WWE, I think Jade has she's lost quite a bit of size, and I do think she has got a little better in ring. I don't think it's been like significant. I don't think she's quite where she needs to be just yet. But what I will say is that, to your point of saying like she's been doing this for 5 years, you know, and it's not. I'm not gonna make excuses for her because, like I just said, I don't think she's quite where she needs to be. But yeah, she's been doing this for 5 years. But into for example, like the Lash Legend example, Lash Legend's been doing 5 years in the PC, bro. You know, that's every day. That's every day going training, bang, 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 bang for 5 years. That's what Lash Legend's been on basically. Jade Cargill, she started in AEW, so it's a little bit different. And I think with AEW talents, when they're starting from square one in AEW or very close to square one in AEW, like your Julia Harts, your Hooks, and Jade, like the three people that were mentioned, it's like they ain't gonna be able to make progress at the same rate as someone who's signed to the PC, going to the PC every single day, because like AEW just doesn't have the structure in place to build talents up from like square one like that. You know what I mean? But so like that 5 years that Jade has been wrestling, like 3 years of it was like very like, it's not like she was in 24/7 training like she is now, you know. And like I said, she's still not where she needs to be. So I don't want to come across like I'm making excuses for her, but I do think like when you look at it from like, when you add the context of like how WWE bring up their like PC talents and stuff, and how AEW kind of develop their talents, it's like someone like Jade, who did start off in AEW, is not going to be at the same point 3 years in than like a PC talent is 3 years in.
And I know that. But the thing is what I'm saying is, another thing is too, it's like you don't like the comments about you care more about Instagram or Hollywood than you do about actually wrestling. But it's like, my nigga, I hear about you more in the Bahamas or on the pictures that you post than I do about you in the PC. Actually getting better and working on your craft. And it's just like, you don't like the accusations of you only care about Hollywood and that's why you're doing this, but you're not showing any real improvement. And it's just like, dude, Naomi shouldn't have to do all the work in the biggest match of her career at WrestleMania. So it's not like I don't hate Jade Cargill. I don't have no type of agenda against her. I just wish like she would actually show that she cares and that she's trying to get better at the craft that she's trying to get better at. It's not showing at all.
Yeah, she's still got ways to go. You know, I do think there's a good chance that she will get there. Obviously, again, to like kind of her getting more leeway from people. So like, obviously, her like compared to like a Hook or a Julia Hart or somebody like that. I know it's a different company, or you can pick someone out from like NXT or whatever. It's like obviously Jade has the X Factor thing, which is her look. You know, it's like no one else in the world looks like fucking Jade Cargill. So it's like she's gonna get some leeway in that regard. So. You know, but like I said, I'm interested to see, especially in Naomi coming out of this, seeing what they got for her. Jade, of course, it'll be interesting to see how creative handle her because, again, she's not quite where she needs to be in ring, but you know, she's here now. She's on the main roster. She's just had a fucking WrestleMania singles match that she won, so you're already at the dance now, you know. So, but yeah, next match, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. I thought this was a very, very solid, good match, bro. Honestly, you could say that. I'd say you could argue that this over delivered, bro. It's a kind of a tough one though because not a lot of people were kind of like down on it beforehand or particularly up on it. It's just one of those matches that was just kind of slotted into the mid card, I guess. And it's like everyone knew what the result was going to be with Jacob Fatu winning and stuff. But even going into it, bro, I was talking to Ibu about this earlier on. It's like not many people caught onto it or were saying much about it. But bro, LA Knight cut a real professional wrestling promo on Friday about Jacob Fatu in this match, bro.
Yes.
He's he ticks a lot of boxes for me, bro. LA Knight, you know, he's just pro wrestling. He's just a pro wrestler, bro. Like I know that sounds dumb, but like his promos are very classic pro wrestler. The way he works is very kind of like it's very polished, but in a he's just a pro wrestler, bro. You know, he throws punches. He does his moves are kind of like he's just a professional, bro. You know, he'll pull out a little high spot here and there that'll make you be like, whoa. You know, he's got a little something in his locker when you're not expecting it as well.
He's
like that BFT counter from the double moonsault, bro. That was
that
fire.
BFT counter
You know,
was
he can do the high spots and the big spots,
fire,
bro. But he's got very good fundamentals and a good understanding of just the game in general, bro. Like I'm a big fan of LA Knight, and like I said, this was a good match, and it had some really cool high spots in it. Jacob Fatu is just a force of nature, bro. Like he's just different with it. I thought it was actually really cool as well. But Biggie on the post show give him that shout out about like, you know, it's almost kind of shooting, bro. He was just like, listen, the company. I always felt like the company was trying to position as Solo Sikoa as the guy, but Jacob Fatu was just completely undeniable, bro. Like he's the man, you know. So, and that's how I feel as well, bro. That's how a lot of people feel. So, Jacob Fatu, United States champion, will probably be the first of many singles titles that guy wins. And LA Knight, man, a very, very, very good account of himself. As always, because he's not looked at as like an in-ring guy. When he goes in there and he has these big opportunities, big matches with decent workers, bro, and he has good matches, he does kind of, people are like, yo, LA Knight's nice. Because he is, bro. He's nice with it, bro. So, I like this, Rob. Did you like this?
I really did like this, and the thing about this match that really intrigued me was how these two styles were gonna mesh because they've never really interacted outside. Obviously, like LA Knight was on the Indies for a really long time, and he was on the Indies when Jacob Fatu just started on the Indies. So I really was surprised that they had never interacted before in the ring. But when we got to this match, the thing that I most appreciate about this match, first of all, LA Knight is getting a really good track record at WrestleMania with his last two performances. The match last year with AJ Styles was really good, and this match with Jacob Fatu was just as good. But it's just like Jacob Fatu, for whatever reason, has not really gotten too many singles opportunities in WWE. He's gotten the Braun matches. He got the Andrade match, sure, but he didn't have. For whatever reason, he never faced Kevin Owens. For whatever reason, he never really faced Randy. For whatever reason, he never really faced a lot of people on SmackDown that you expected him to face since he got to SmackDown. And this match with LA Knight on the big stage where he got to show that he could actually hang with the kind of and LA Knight's not a top dog. Like he's not a main eventer, but he got to show that he could hang with someone that the universe, the fan base really likes. And that's why I feel like this was a really good showcase for him. And the fact that he went out there and showed out. He showed why It's not just a Fatu thing. It's not just a Samoan family thing or Samoan mind control. He showed that the Samoan mind control. He showed that he really does deserve to be here at to be here wrestling in WWE and wrestling at WrestleMania. So,
Yeah, man, good shit. And obviously, happy for Jacob Fatu, bro. Mans have been saying for years, like mans have known for years the level of talent he is, A lot of us were kind of very doubtful he'll ever get this opportunity, because of the reasons that they now happily tell us on commentary, bro. Like, yo, he's a felon, you know what I mean? He's done time in prison, he's done this, he's done that, bro. He's got a very checkered past, Jacob Fatu, you get me? So, and there was always kind of like rumors like, oh, he's never going to get signed to WWE because of X or because of Y or because of Z. And it's like, those rumors were floating around for a long time, bro. And then they eventually made the move and they signed him. And like I said, like even those little tidbits on commentary, like WWE being happy to be like, yo, this guy, he was in pen, like that. Like they'll tell you happily, and I feel like a few years ago, a lot of us would never expect that. So very happy to see Jacob Fatu get in his position. His talent more than deserves it. He's only going to go further than this as well. Like, this is not his peak. And yeah, man, just cool to see this shit, bro. He's been on a journey. And yeah, LA Knight, like I just said, he's giving me his flowers, man. He's a fucking good professional wrestler, bro, in all aspects. Excuse me. All right, next match was Rey Phoenix, who was replacing the unfortunately injured Rey Mysterio. Got injured on SmackDown. I believe it was a groin injury. But yeah, he announced earlier in the day that he couldn't get medically cleared, but he would be replaced by the newly signed Rey Phoenix. And yeah, man, cool to see Rey Phoenix obviously get like thrown into this spot. I could imagine that it would have been like slightly surreal for him, to like walk out in front of that stadium like, yo, I'm on WrestleMania, and I wasn't on WrestleMania yesterday. Them ones like you just get thrown in there. And he did his thing, man. Like, they only went like 8 minutes. El Grande Americano. He actually had we was talking about entrances. He had I guess quote special entrance. They what's it called? The mariachi. Am I saying that right? He had like a mariachi band, and they had like the I don't know, the stereotype filter.
The fucking Breaking Bad in Mexico filter, like.
And like, so they did happening? That. But yeah, like I said, cool to see Rey kind of get this position, even though obviously he unfortunately had to take a loss. But it's a story they're telling. It's kind of a weird one. I'm neither here or there on it because of the situation, the circumstances. I'm not really gonna get mad about him losing. But yeah, man, they did. I thought that they kind of showed out with the 8 minutes that they had. Could this have gone a little bit longer? Yeah, I do think it could have. I saw a lot of people kind of complaining about the match times, and Rob, you know me well enough to know that I am not against not every match going fucking 20 minutes. I don't need that in my life, So like when someone posted this, like this is a joke, and all the matches were kind of like 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, man, that looks sweet. That looks good to me, like on paper, except for this one, which came in at like under 8 minutes, I think, and I think even on paper you could have give these two like 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like at least.
Yeah.
So, but with the 8 minutes that they had a really good match. Fucking, I was about to say Chad Gable, but yeah, Chad Gable, Americano, whatever you want to call him. He bust out a double moonsault, bro. Like, I don't know what.
Bro, he almost, bro. If he looked like if he wanted to hit a double moonsault, he could have. But it was the old fucking moonsault senton that Scorpio used to do, that Tuco Scorpio used to do. It was, Chad Gable, bro. Listen, I like that match a lot more than a lot of people did, but Chad Gable went out there and he knew it was his first real singles WrestleMania match, and he was like, "Man, I'm going out there and going crazy."
He's a beast, man. So, but yeah, we liked it, didn't we, Rob? It was a good little match.
Yeah.
It's what it needed to be.
I didn't think it was going to be some 15-minute spectacle. Obviously, if Rain was out there, it would have went a lot longer, I think. I would have loved to see Dragon Lee more in this spot, I guess, but Rey Phoenix, I guess it was to show Rey Phoenix's first spot, but this kind of defeats the Nick Khan's point of not benching people. Dragon Lee's kind of been on the main roster for 2 years, and this
He's
is
not
not the
benched
first.
though. Like
He's not benched.
when we say bench, we're talking like Omos.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know what I'm
Omos
saying?
is
We're
benched.
talking
Well,
like,
no, you're
or
right,
even
you're right,
Alexa, or even Alexa Bliss, bro. Do you know what I
you're right.
mean?
Well,
Like that's who I'd class as like benched.
Well, Alexa
You know?
Bliss doesn't have to be benched. She chooses to be benched, but that's a whole different story.
No. We're not doing Alexa like that, bro. Not on my show.
She has a choice. She wants to continue with the Scooby Doo gang. So, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, no, I would have really loved to see Dragon Lee in this position. I feel like he earned it a lot better, a lot more than Rey Phoenix did. And I feel like if you want to present Lucha Libre in the way that you're talking about presenting Lucha Libre since you acquired AAA, I feel like giving Dragon Lee that spot would have shown that you cared, because this is not the first time that you took an opportunity away from Dragon Lee. You took it away from him last year because you got Andrade, and you just threw Andrade in that spot because you got him from AEW. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, all right. So before we get to the world title matches, a couple more super chats. We'll quickly flow through them. Shorty on Spurs, $5. Appreciate you as always, bro. Jay and Gunther and Jade and Naomi were actually built well and felt like blood feuds, but neither match were wrestled like it. A real shame. Yeah, man. Obviously, with the Jade and Naomi one, like there was obviously always going to be like some limitations to it, but the Jay and Gunther, man, like. Honestly, bro, like I've already said like a couple times, like genuinely did disappoint me, bro. Even though I didn't think it was a bad match, like at all, it just disappointed me of like what I really was hoping and wanted it to be. You get me? So can't win them all, bro. Kale, 50 Mexican pesos. Appreciate you as always as well, fam. When you look at the results, they were the proper outcome to the few stories being told. EO should win based on that, but no women's title change? ? Yeah, it does feel like last night with how the stories were told, like even the main event with like Seth, you know what I'm saying? Like everything kind of like, if you just base it off how the stories were told, the logical winners were the winners, you know. But I struggle to see EO walking out of Mania with the belt tonight, bro. I really do. But I wouldn't complain. Honestly, that's one of the matches. I'm not mad at anyone winning that belt, you know. I swear to God, bro. Like even Rhea, like I know a lot of people reject the idea of Rhea winning again. But it's like Rhea, I still need Rhea to have like the world title reign that I wanted her to have like 2 reigns ago or whatever it was, you know. I still think there's juice to things that you can do with Rhea Ripley as a world champ, like in the immediate future. So I wouldn't be mad at her walking out with the belt. I'd pop for Io walking out with the belt. I'd pop for Bianca walking out with the belt. Especially if it come with a heel turn as well from Bianca. We don't know. Will Naomi play into this? I don't know, because I don't know. I thought it was weird the way Naomi came out in that world title segment on Friday or whenever it was. It felt very kind of like, well, why are they doing this? You know. But
It felt like, that's why it felt like to me that she was gonna win, because if Tiffany Stratton, which she ended up winning, which I knew she was gonna end up winning, but with Tiffany Stratton winning, who's a clear baby face right now, I thought you would do Naomi and Tiffany Stratton next as the next feud, but I guess not. So.
Showtime Spurs, $5. Appreciate it as always. Making bank on meet and greets in Vegas? ? Nah, we're wrestling in Doncaster. Mercedes is the greatest. Yeah, she's on the Rev Pro, like the Rev Pro show, which is ongoing like right now, I think.
I think. Wait, was it yesterday? It was today. It was earlier today. I was doing something earlier this morning or earlier today, so I didn't watch. But
she wrestled Kanji. Yeah, man. Wrestling Kanji in Doncaster. Mercedes is she's an animal, bro.
I'll probably go back and watch it before I got to rate matches tomorrow. But I love Mercedes, but I wasn't watching a Rev Pro show, bro. So, yo, that's another thing yesterday too, Monty, with the acquisition of AAA, and people went on the timeline and were like, people should really be scared, because when they acquired Noah and then they try to buy a BritRes company, I said, what the fuck, BritRes company in 2025 should we be afraid of WWE purchasing? Progress?
Yeah, fair point.
Progress ain't been relevant since Mustache Mountain was there. Come on now, let's be real with ourselves. And we taking their talent. Shout out man like Darius. So,
All right. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the women's championship, the WWE Women's Championship, and Tiffany Stratton defeated the Queen Charlotte Flair, which honestly did catch me by surprise. I actually liked a lot about this match, to be brutally honest with you guys. Whilst understanding a lot of the criticisms, whilst like I liked a lot about this match, whilst also understanding a lot of the criticisms that I saw about it. It wasn't super smooth. It didn't all go to plan. I think even Charlotte and Tiffany at different points got the spots a little bit mixed up, and but there was a ruggedness to it, bro. The crowd was into it. There was a physicality to it. There was a genuine competitive spirit to the match, bro. And whilst the match itself wasn't the smoothest watch, it had a spirit to it. And when Tiffany finally overcome Charlotte, that's what it felt like, bro. That is what it felt like. She was battered, but she came out of it with the belt, still the champion. And I was happy for her in that moment. So there was things that I liked about this match. A lot of us thought that Tiffany chipped a tooth, but if you look carefully, it did more look like she got a bit of blood on her tooth, and it looked like it was chipped. Clearly her teeth weren't chipped, because when she done the post-show interview thing, she was full set of teeth, all cleaned up and stuff. But yeah, she was quite battered, bro. A few marks on both women, a few bumps and bruises, a little kind of speckle of blood here and there, But like I said, Tiffany retained, huge moment for her, and I actually liked quite a lot about this match, bro. So I don't know if that's a hot take, but what you saying to me, Rob? Charlotte, Tiffany, what you make of it?
no, let's be honest with ourselves here, guys. This match was not good. At least I didn't think so. I was trying. Nah, don't get me wrong, Monty. I was watching. I was locked in. I was trying. I was hoping that they had a good match. And I know Tiffany Stratton's not like the perfect wrestler already, or whatever the case may be. Like, she still has a lot of left, not a lot of work to do, but she still has, ways to get there. But guys, we got another outstanding soundboard going off.
Oh no!
And it's time to throw up the outstanding for Charlotte Flair, man. Listen, I don't want to say this, and it's not because I have an agenda. But she hurt her knee, and she clearly I think she needs to get more reps in with this hurt knee. With coming back off this knee injury, I think what it is. I'm not gonna say she fully sucks now after the knee injury, but I do think she needs to wrestle a lot more to get back into the rhythm of wrestling with that bum knee. Bro, they were both really bad. I saw people being like, Tiffany, like I said earlier, Charlotte had to lead Tiffany through the match. They were both really bad in that match. Like, they were both really bad. Charlotte was messing up spots. Tiffany was messing up spots. Charlotte was falling all over the place. Tiffany was falling all over the place. I'm not going to say it was below a 3. That's what I would give, because that's what I would give it, a 3 and a quarter. But, dude, it was just, it was way underwhelming to what I had it at. And I just think, Charlotte needs to, if she can't do the athletic stuff anymore, because that moonsault is dead. I hope y'all know that moonsault is dead. The moonsault to the outside, corkscrew moonsault to the outside, dead. But yeah, so she needs to just, what she needs to do, Monty? She needs to adjust her style to a way that fits her hurt knee, so she kind of can't do those athletic things anymore. She can kind of tweak her style to something that works for her. So
I think with Charlotte, as far as Charlotte goes, as long as she avoids injury and she just stay around and the schedule's kind of somewhat regular, I think that will come with her being around a bit more, because even physically and size wise, she's changed quite a bit. She's gone through this knee injury now. She's obviously wrestling in the brace and stuff, so that's always going to take a little bit of an adjustment period. Well, again, like I said, I completely understand a lot of the criticisms that most people and even Rob's just had of the match, but it's there was just, like I said, there was just kind of a rugged spirit to it. But I just liked, bro. I'm not going to sit up here and say it was a 4.5-star match or anything, but it's just I will say that I liked it though, and that's the beauty of wrestling, fam. You get me? It's subjective. We like things, we don't like things, but at least we can explain them. You know what I'm saying? So that was that was the women's title match. Like I said, Tiffany getting the win, huge win for her, biggest win of her career, comfortably. And then, of course, a couple of super chats, and then we'll go into the main event. Phantom FTW, £2, appreciate you. Yo, what was that Mickie James rant about? I saw like 10 seconds of a clip of it and was just like, listen, I'm not watching my GOAT do this, because I got mad respect for Mickie James, you get me? Like, I think she's mad. She's mad underappreciated, you get me? But like,
it's much worse.
I can't watch her do this shit, bro.
Long story short, she's wrestling Maki Ito, and she like clearly gets gassed, but nobody wants to call it out. Clearly like gets tired, so she stops the match, grabs the microphone, and then just starts like, I don't know what she was talking about, Monty. Like, she just started talking about random shit, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, Dave Meltzer is getting brought up, and I'm just like what? What's happening here? Very, very.
I feel like
very,
that's
very
fucking.
weird.
You know the meme with the dog with its eyes closed, like. That's how I feel listening to Mickie James having a stinker, bro. Because I got mad love for that.
Well. It's well. I don't blame that fully on Mickie James. It's 2025, Maki Ito. Come on. So it's not just all Mickie James' fault, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
Leo Fox. Embarrassing.
Leo Fox 199. Night 2 is going to smoke night 1. Yeah, it's looking that way, bro. It's looking.
I might do a Twitch stream for night 2. Shit.
This was always going to be the case, though. Like, night 1 had to seriously over deliver to ever have a chance of like, you know, reaching night 2 levels, unless night 2 seriously under delivered. Just looking at the cards, man. You know. But yeah, night 2, hopefully better be better than night 1. You know, like I said, even though they stuck the landing last night, we're about to get into that with the main event. But you know, overall, top to bottom, it was a show that could have done with some more work. You get me? But all right, main event time: Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman. This was Paul Heyman fulfilling CM Punk's favour that he was owed after CM Punk had been the 5th man in the Roman Reigns Survivor Series team. And guys, you lot know how much I just fucking hate triple threat matches, multi-mans, just getting in the way of my glorious non-stipulation singles matches, you know? But I'll always give him a chance, especially on an occasion like this. It's the WrestleMania main event. 3 top guys, you know, people that I'm invested in. And I'll be honest, bro, like, I honestly thought this was as good as a WWE WrestleMania triple threat main event in the 2020s could possibly be, if that makes sense. The pace and the energy of it was really good. All 3 guys are obviously crazy over, which helped the match as well. They also, I felt like they avoided the match falling into the, you know, the multi-man trope of, it's my turn to do a move now, I'm going to go on the outside, and it's your turn now, and it's my turn now. It never felt like it fell into that. It all felt connected. And that's not to say that, like, nobody chilled on the outside or anything for any part of it, or anything like that, but the whole match was like, it felt cohesive, you know? And going into this match, I think a lot of us were just kind of waiting for the Heyman drama, not really buying anything until the Heyman drama. But in the stadium, bro, when they started all the finisher spams before the Heyman drama, the people are biting on every near fall, bro. They're loving it. They're biting on every near fall, bro. It's crazy.
I was biting on every near fall.
It was going crazy in there. So there was some mild cinema as well before the Heyman stuff, like teasing the Shield powerbomb and shit like that, you know. And then before that, and then after that, we go into like full theater mode, Heyman drama, which, like I said, in a 2020s WrestleMania main event with Roman Reigns, like, we're getting some cinema, you know. And were some of the cut scenes a little bit too long and a little over the top? Like, yeah, of course they were, but they all worked in the building, and it wasn't anything disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like Like the Shield powerbomb thing, bro. Like when Roman Reigns is fully like conflicted and he's like crouching down, like what am I gonna do? Like it was like a little bit much. But when he flicked that switch and he was like, "Fuck it, let's go Shield mode," and he just starts going on a mad one, and then he does the swerve where he hits Seth instead of hitting the powerbomb, and he's just on one. Like it kind of made it worth it, you know. But like I said, then they go full theater, and that's like when we get like the three big reactions, three big happenings, which was Heyman getting the chair and then deciding to slide it to Punk instead of Roman. And then he slides it to Punk, and as Punk is about to hit Roman with the chair, Heyman hits him with a low blow. Huge reactions to that as well. Roman picks up the chair, does his business to CM Punk, takes him out with the chair and stuff. Heyman's loving all this. Heyman then spots Seth Rollins. He's climbing himself up the ropes, kind of similar to like, you know, the Shield spot, bro. You know, like Seth standing there, perfect position. Roman's got chair in hand. You get me? You're like, okay, then Roman. You know what Roman's gonna do here. He can't resist that. So he can't resist that opportunity. We seen it at Mania last year. Yeah. So Roman's lining up Seth. He's about to hit him in the back with a chair. And this fucking pagan Paul Heyman, he snakes Roman Reigns as well, bro. So he hits him with a low blow. Roman Reigns is in disbelief, pain, can't believe what's going on. Paul Heyman has sided with Seth freaking Rollins. Don't know the reasoning behind this. I'm sure we'll find out, but definitely a big swerve, shock. Even though they did hint at it a couple times throughout the TV, I'd still definitely class this as a big swerve and shock, you know. Because of course, bro, it's like in kayfabe, it's like I know Paul Heyman's Paul Heyman. He's a Weasley fucking untrustworthy guy, but it's like he has been absolutely infatuated, in love with his tribal chief, bro. You know, then obviously there's always been kind of that little bit of loyalty shown to CM Punk, and they've really played on him being his genuine best friend. Blah 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 blah. So it's like, what reason would he really have for picking Seth Rollins out over those two? You know, so it's like we'll wait and see. This is one of those angles where, like, I think instinctually, I kind of don't want to like it because of those reasons I just said. It's like, why? What sense does it make for Paul Heyman to pick Seth over those two specifically? You know, but I am willing to let it play out, bro. That old trope, that old cliche. I'm willing to hit the let it play out pass on this one because I'm willing to let Paul Heyman convince me that this is a good thing. You get me? And obviously, Seth turning heel could be like a catalyst for like bigger things as well. So
I didn't tweet it out, but I kind of I wrote up an explanation. Okay, I didn't tweet it out.
before you give your thoughts, or if you want to give your thoughts first, whatever order you want to do it in, bro.
Oh, go ahead.
I say give your thoughts on the match and then do that after. We'll do that now. Give your thoughts on the match after. Up to you.
I thought, this was great. I texted Monty. I said, "Yeah, this might get a 5 on the spreadsheet." I was like, "Yeah, this might get a 5 on the spreadsheet," and I was like, "It'll turn into a 4 3/4 on rewatch." But this was crazy. I knew a match between these three was gonna be really good. I wasn't like everybody else. I was like, they were like, "Oh my god, I'm scared about this 3-way, bro. It might be really bad, bro. It might be really bad." I was like, "No. It's Roman Reigns, it's Seth Rollins, it's CM Punk. It's in the main event of WrestleMania. Everybody says what they want about Roman Reigns, but the last three not the last three. No, the last three main events, because he had 2 main events last year, and then he had 1 the year before. The last 3 main events have shown you anything. So when Roman Reigns is in the main event of WrestleMania, he does try because he knows WrestleMania is the biggest stage. Yeah, he might not try at SummerSlam. Yeah, he might not try at Survivor Series. He might not try at fucking Payback. Because who would? But he will try at WrestleMania, and that's what he did last night. I thought I could comfortably say he was the best performer in the match last night, and people wouldn't call me a dick rider because everybody's been saying it. I
agree. I thought
he
was
had
great
more
last night.
intensity than Seth Rollins and CM Punk did. He went out there and bro, it was like we were watching like 2010's Roman Reigns in the tribal chief's body. Like, it was crazy. Like, he was doing the drive. He did the drive by again. He was out there fucking. He did when they did the shield, the fake shield powerbomb spot. He was like, "No, actually, fuck you both," and he hit them with it wasn't like a shitty looking powerbomb. It was like an intense, like this is pretty like I'm into this power mom. And so like when CM Punk did well, I can admit it. CM Punk did well in the match last night. Like he hit his spots very well. But I think the second best performer in the match was Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins had something to prove. I know it's CM Punk's first main event and everything, but Seth Rollins is kind of like Seth Rollins is kind of like the most looked down upon out of the three, if that makes any sense, Monty. Where it's like people think he's a fake demon. You know what I mean? They make the fake demon mount a meme, and they'd be like, people don't really like believe in Seth as much as they do the others. And so I felt like he really had something to go out there and prove last night with this main event, and he really showed out. My thing with this main event and the ending of this main event is, I guess I'll read it off here. I think no, I won't read it off. I'll give it off the top of my head because I don't care. I paid it. Listen, Monty, as bad as the segments were going into this WrestleMania, right? As bad as underwhelming as the segments might have been, I read between the lines and I knew it was going to happen because you know why? What they kept saying, Monty. Seth Rollins pointed out two things. Number one, he pointed out that CM Punk didn't really want anything to do with Paul Heyman until besides like the one time they interacted in Chicago, until War Games came and he knew he could get something out of Paul Heyman. Number two, Seth Rollins also pointed out that neither Roman Reigns nor CM Punk came to save him. And remember, when they were in MSG, oh no, MSG was before SummerSlam, never mind. But nonetheless, Punk was already back trying to go to SummerSlam and wrestle at SummerSlam, and he returned multiple times. And Punk let Punk and Roman both let Heyman get massacred in front of his family by the Samoans and the Samoans and the Tongans in Madison Square Garden in front of his family. And so when he pointed that out to me, I was thinking about it, and then it was also the segment they did on SmackDown with Roman Reigns kept telling Paul Heyman, "I made you relevant again. I made you relevant again." He kept basically belittling him while trying to like be like, "Yo, you need to pick me over him." And so it was just like when I thought about those things as Rollins was bringing up and when Roman was saying those things, I was like, "Fuck, they're gonna do it." And I didn't think they were gonna do it at first, but then you know what told me they were gonna do it, Monty?
What told you that they were gonna do it?
When he gives Roman the chair, Monty, and he goes, "Roman, look, the shield." And I was like, no. I was like, fuck. I was like, don't, no, because he knows. If anybody knows Roman Reigns better than Roman Reigns, better than his cousins, better than his family, it's Paul Heyman. And what does Paul Heyman know, Monty? Paul Heyman knows that Roman Reigns is his biggest weakness in the entire world, his kryptonite, the thing that makes him tick, is the shield. And so when you tie all that into the ending of the main event, I know a lot of people don't like cinema. Let's be real here, guys. We started the cinema shit here in the WWE, all right? The cinema started with us, and we've been great at it for 20 years. We've been great at it for 25 years, and we're great at it now. So I really enjoyed that main event. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be great, but it was way better than I thought it was going to be. Finisher spam, good. I know AO was I'm not one of the fans AO was talking about, guys. When he was talking about WWE, I love when Will Ospreay does it. I love it when it's done here. I don't give a fuck. Be a finisher spam, good. And you know what I hate it? I hate it when it's like we're 45 minutes into a match and we've already done like 10 finishers and you're still kicking it. Then it's like, okay, whoa, slow down. Unless it's Johnny Gargano. Keep doing what you're doing, kid. You're doing great. But yeah, no. So yeah, I loved all of that, and I understood the story that they're trying to tell, and I can't wait for Monday for them to tell that story, bro. I can't wait.
Yeah, like I said, I'm very much in the position of like let it play out, which obviously is hilarious when you think about like how that phrase has been used in wrestling fandom the past few years. But when it comes to this big of an angle with talents involved, like fucking Paul Heyman, who I'm gonna trust to explain this to me, you know, I'm willing to play that let it play out card, you get me? So a very strong finish to WrestleMania, which was a very up and down show to say the least, you know. But like I said, the biggest part of the show, the most important part of the show that you need to get right, they did get right, and in a big way as well. Because like I said, that triple threat main event was probably as good as they get in WWE WrestleMania setting, you know, like a WrestleMania triple threat main event in the 2020s, you know, like I can't see them really doing anything better than what they did last night, you know. So, shout out to them for at least not sticking the landing last night, you know.
Yeah, because it could have came off really embarrassing, but it came,
100%, bro.
The crowd could have not understood what the fuck was going on at all. But I felt like it was a really the way they executed it. They got the right reaction that they wanted to get from the fans, and that's all that matters really at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, they milked it really good, bro. Like I said, I went through them, but like they got like 5 huge reactions out of it. You know, it's like Heyman made like 4 decisions that got massive pops. You know, so like they did what they had to do. You know, really good shit, bro. All right, let's so that's WrestleMania Night 1. Obviously, we'll have a little look at Night 2 at the very end. Corey David, $2. Rob thoughts on Callie Armstrong.
I gave my thoughts. If you check my Twitter account,
was that Kai?
No, Callie. It's supposed to be Callie Armstrong.
Okay.
If you look at my account, I gave my thoughts on it earlier, but they're talking about Callie Armstrong from Evolve. I think she's really good, bro. Like she does like power moves, and then she does like the run up the turnbuckle, like belly to belly, catching somebody off the top. Evolve, listen, I know Evolve isn't everybody's cup of tea, bro. Like I know everybody looks at Evolve and they're like, ew, Evolve, what the fuck is that? Because they look at it and see it as an ID show. But like Evolve is a decent show. Evolve is a decent show, bro. It's a decent show.
Alright, bro. Anyway.
Oh,
NXT Stand and Deliver. We're just gonna quickly just like literally breeze through this because it deserves a little shout out because I thought Rob said it at the top of the show. He thinks this was a better show than WrestleMania. You get me? So they're definitely deserving their.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? NXT Stand and Deliver's deserving their shout out. So we're just gonna quickly breeze through it. Ricky Saints defeats Ethan Page, North American title, one of his first defenses. I don't think it's his very first, but it's definitely one of. It might have been his first. Anyway, this was a decent little match, man. But yeah, decent little match to get the show started. Then we had the tag team title match, Fraxium finally dropping the belts to Hank and Tank. A lot of people are like, I saw a lot of people on the timeline, especially the people who not regular watchers of NXT, like, who the fuck are Hank and Tank, bro? Like, which do make me laugh. But like, they've been telling like a multi-month story with these guys, and in storyline sense, it made sense for them to win this title, even though it's not the decision I would have made. I don't think they're a bad tag team or anything, but I do think this tag title run that Fraxium run was like pretty special, bro. So I am rooting for Hank and Tank to have a nice little reign though, to justify it though. But they had a good match because that's what Fraxium do, bro. Fraxium could wrestle me and Rob and get like 3.5 stars, I think.
Yeah, no, like they're really good. But I feel like I said earlier, Tank is the better of the two. But I don't hate Hank and Tank as much as everybody else does. Like I don't think they're a good tag team. They're a decent tag team that hits their spots really well. And like I said, I feel like I said yesterday in Discord, I feel like Tank is gonna be the Otis of the group. They feel like heavy machinery to me. Tank is gonna be the Otis of the group, and Hank is really gonna be the Tucker, where I don't think he gets cut, but I think when they split up, he's the Tank is the Jannetty, and Tank is the Shawn, and Hank is the Jannetty. So,
yeah, that had a good morning yesterday, though. You know,
yeah,
weird time for a show, but that had a good morning. You know, but okay, so we got new tag titles, new tag champs in NXT. North American title match. This is for the vacant belt that Stephanie the Kid just made vacant. There were some qualifying matches for this. I thought it was built up pretty well in that sense. 6 qualifying matches. Blah 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 blah. Sol Ruka, Izzy Dane, Kalani Jordan, Lola Vosti, and Zarya. I thought this was pretty decent, to be honest. Nothing overly special, to be honest. It's an NXT multi-woman ladder match, bro. Like, it kind of was what it was. Like, it's very much like spot to spot to spot, and it's like some of it's not gonna come off, whatever. But like in the building, they loved it. They love Sol Ruka winning, so it's just kind of like I just kind of shrugged my shoulders, and it's like, well, it wasn't good, but you know.
Hey, I'm like I said on Twitter yesterday, I'm just happy nobody died. That's all I care about. Because with a lot of these NXT women's ladder matches, It's a lot of women tend to come out hurt,
Not
injured,
not catching
major
dives.
injuries. Yeah, exactly, not catching nobody. They were catching people yesterday. They were hitting their spots, and nobody came out with any major injuries or minor injuries. So it
Yeah, and
was all right with me.
a good stepping stone for Sol Ruka as well. She's double champ at the moment, bro. Speed champ and North American champ. So she's yeah. I've been saying for a hot minute, bro. Like I feel like the Diva stands went way too far with it because they have no nuance to the way they talk about these things, you know. But like you see when Julia, Stephanie, and Jordan came into NXT, it's like there's people who before that were feeling like they were about to move into that NXT Women's Division main event, like your Sol Rukas and your Lola Voices and people like that, you know. And obviously Jordan, Julia, Stephanie, those women are going to get priority when coming in. And you did see a lot of Diva stands like very negative towards this, calling them indie shitters, why they're taking over my NXT, blah blah blah. And you'd see a few of these tweets every now and again, and I'd just kind of roll my eyes at them like whatever. But you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not completely out of nowhere. Are they being over the top and over dramatic and being like dumb about it? Yes, but like I said, there definitely was something to like these high profile NXT signings coming in, kind of slightly, ever so slightly, slowing down the trajectory of some of the women that I just mentioned, like your Sol Rukas, like your Lola Voices. Fuck, even Thea Hale, bro. Like, I know she was away for a while. We don't know what the injury was. We don't know what the issue was or what was going on with her, but like all those women that I just named, bro, it's like they all felt like they were about to become like, you know, future NXT Women's Champions, and obviously perfectly reasonably so. They've had to kind of wait it a little bit. So now seeing Sol Ruka be a double champ, I know it's only the speed title and the Women's North American title, but it does feel like we're finally starting to kick on with these women. So that was cool to see, you know.
Oh no, it was very cool, and I'm glad. I'm very glad that nothing happened.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man. And happy to see Thea Hale back in the swing of things as well, bro. She's good, man.
she's she's good, bro. I don't understand. I mean, I guess she was hurt or something like that. I don't know what the case was, but I'm just glad she's back.
Still only 21. Still only 21.
Like mad young, bro.
She's a baby, bro. Remember, they signed her when she was like 17. Yeah, I think she was like 17 when they signed her. So, yeah, man. Fear's definitely one for the future. Pretty much all those women are, bro. Like, Easy Dame, we'll see. You know, don't want to like single her out and be horrible about her, but like Sol Ruka, I think is a sure thing. Kalani Jordan, in theory, should be a sure thing. Lola Voice, in theory, again, should be a sure thing. She's pretty decent in ring, and obviously she has like other appeals. Thea Hale is very talented, and she's come along so quickly in such a short amount of time. Zarya has a very special X factor, and I actually think in ring, like, Zarya's quite underrated, to be honest. So yeah, that was a good bit of business, I guess. Right, next was the 6-man tag match that Rob touched on earlier. No stip, even though they just did a parking lot brawl. Well, this was Dark State versus the family, the D'Angelo family. And the big takeaway from this was that Stacks, that dirty piece of shit, that little rat Stacks, has turned on the family, bro. He turned on Tony D'Angelo. He kicked him in the balls. He kicked him in the balls, bro. I've supported Stacks for a long time. You get me? I've backed him. I've called him underrated. I said he's a nice worker. Said he's got good tenacity, good intensity to him. Not come along as a nice tag worker, etc., etc. And he does me like this, bro. Nah,
bro. He was
nah.
What a fucking I knew. I just knew Monty. I said, why is he doing that with the crowbar? And I was like, wait, why does he still have why did he give the crowbar to the referee? And I was like, oh, you motherfucker. And then he kicked him in the balls. I was like, I knew it. So it looks like to me, Monty, what they're going with, looks like Stacks is going to be a singles guy, and they're going to I guess they're going to go back to Tony in the tag division, because that's where he was best at, in the tag division. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Tony's an interesting one to circle post Mania.
Because I think Stacks has potential, bro. I've like his in ring work.
I think they all do. Like genuinely, I'm not trying. I know like people know I love Tony D and stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm
like,
very. I can also be realistic about him. Like, where does someone like him with that gimmick fit? But I think as a talent, bro, look wise, all those things, he does tick quite a few boxes. I think Luca is very solid. I think Stacks is very solid, and I think Adriano Rizzo is crazy underrated and underused. So
absolutely.
I like the family, bro. It's just kind of how does that work in the main roster world? And if it's not what you're gonna do in the main roster, it's like what roles and gimmicks do you give these talented people? Because like I said, all four of them do have talent there. So But anyway, speaking of fours, fatal four way women NXT women's title, Stephanie McMahon retained, which is probably one of the only other surprises so far this weekend. Stephanie McMahon retains versus Julia, Jada Parker, and Jordan Grace. I thought Julia was gonna win, but no, we got Steph.
Bro,
Steph is
because
Steph's
Evo
still
was
the champ.
saying for the past 2 weeks that since Jada got added, he thought that Jada was winning. And
All right, bro.
those women were
Ibu
like,
don't watch the shows, bro. He don't watch them. He doesn't watch the show. So when he was doing all that, like I can understand how his mind got to the idea of like, oh, they're gonna call up Stephanie, Julia, and Jordan. No, Stephanie, Julia, and Jordan. Yeah, so Jada's gonna win the belt. It's like, bro, you don't watch the show to know how they're being presented to make that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Like
I could see Stephanie getting called up and dropping the belt, or even Jordan because she was only put in NXT because of a timing thing. But it's like, I never thought Julia was getting called up anytime soon, and I thought Julia might have. I thought Julia might have won this because they'd just done the heel turn with her returning and stuff, and obviously you want to solidify the heel turn, and you can go back and forth with Julia and Stephanie again. If you want to, do you know what I mean? And have Stephanie win the belt back again, or you can call Stephanie up because I do think Stephanie could get called up. Jordan obviously could get called up, but yes, Stephanie just retained. So
I don't think they're taking the belt off of Stephanie till after the Mexico show. Oh, not the Mexico show, but the California show. I don't think they're taking it off her till then.
Yeah, so that's a fair assumption. Now we know that as well. That's 100% a fair assumption, man. Yeah, no, the match was all right. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. I didn't think it was bad in any sense of the way either. But it's a fatal 4-way match. It's hard to hook me on these, bro. So it is what it is. But yeah, Steph got the win, and then the main event, which we've already give praise to, and a few of you guys in the live chat have already given a lot of praise to because it was that good. Arguably the best match this weekend, even with that great Mania main event. Especially if you're somebody who shuts down like cinema and drama and that, you'd probably have this better because obviously it didn't have the 10 minutes of like cutscenes at the end. You get me? But
right.
Obafemi successfully defends against Javon Evans and Trick Williams. The right booking decision, in my opinion. And as I've already just said, a great main event. These three guys absolutely showed out. Obafemi is fucking special, bro. Javon Evans, obviously. You see a lot of people kind of praising him over the past 24 hours because his offense and stuff, it jumps off the page a lot more, bro. He's a lot flashier and stuff like that. And he's great. But people need to realize just how fucking special Obafemi is as a talent, bro. He's right there with anybody under 20, I think. So, in terms of like people under 20 who aren't already established, like people like MJF, like he's already fucking a top guy, you know? But yeah, Obafemi is a serious. Look, I think I said it on one of the pods before. I'm at the point where I genuinely think he's a generational talent now. He's that good. Javon Evans is a special talent as well. And Trick Williams has got X factor, bro. Like he's so charismatic, he's so likable. And like I said, now I think his in ring has got to a level where it's like it's passable. And I think he's almost like he's almost a can't miss talent, bro. He's so likable, man. So,
hey, keep these niggas in NXT as long as possible. Shit. How main roster is looking, keep these niggas in NXT as long as possible. Oh my god, yo. These three are just like I said earlier, fantastic talents. I think like Trick Williams is getting better by the year. I still do think he needs another year, maybe year and a half on NXT. But even then, still, I think he's like these three are the top talents in NXT, and they're the top talents in NXT for a reason. There's a reason why this was the main event, and they went out there and showed that this was why they were the main event. Javon Evans, bro, it's crazy to think, Monty. Javon Evans is like my age. Javon Evans is like literally my age. I think like not even my age. I think he's 2 years younger than me, and he's like out there doing all that crazy shit. So it's just like he's insane, bro. He's insane. And Obafemi, what is there not to say about Obafemi? Like he's that good. He's that good, and I don't want him getting called up. Like Ibu says, I don't want him to get called up until there is a definitive plan to push Obafemi to the moon.
That's the trick. That is the trick to it, isn't it? You know, like the reason why I'm so bullish on like Obafemi winning this and him winning this being the right choice is because coming out of this Mania, there isn't a clear and obvious spot for Obafemi to come into the main roster and be pushed like fucking Obafemi. How Obafemi should be pushed. Do you get me? So it's like, okay, so do you make him drop the belt? It's like you don't really feel like it's time to make him drop the belt yet. And then you throw in the fact that like the way that they've done this three-way build with like Dark State heavily involved in it and then being like a non-factor by the time the match came around. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying I wanted the Dark State interference, but like they were a non-factor by the time the match came around, and they were a big part of the story. So
I thought that we were gonna get Dark State making Trick Williams win the match. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so a lot of people were kind of throwing out those predictions as well, bro. But like I said, like with the way they told the three-way story with Dark State, it never felt like it was going to be Javon Evans' moment. It was never built like that. Javon Evans' moment should come in a singles match with a story that's built around him and whoever the champion is at the time. I do think he should be the one to take it off Oba eventually as well. So, but yeah, like I said, I understand people who thought the Mania weekend, the big NXT Mania weekend show was the occasion to do it, but it's like they just got the build all wrong if they were gonna do that, So, Oba was the right choice here, and a great match, bro. Great match. Let's do some quick predictions since we've got a couple minutes, Rob. Quick predictions for night 2, WrestleMania Night 2. Hopefully a lot better than night 1 from top to bottom. Let's do these quick predictions because we're going to get out of here shortly. One quick super chat. Mars 199. Oba needs the Sheamus 09 rollout upon call up. Yeah, bro, he needs to be coming up like straight into the thick of it, bro. Like Umaga. Like Great Khali. Like he needs to be coming in and just fucking running man's over, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he needs to be like absurd like that, But alright, so Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. I'm taking Drew.
Yeah, I'm taking Drew. Drew needs this victory. He's lost too many big matches this year for me to count. Not to count, but for me, he does need this victory to WrestleMania.
Yeah, man.
Especially after he needs his win back from last year. So.
AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I'm just going to go with pure cope, and I'm going to pick AJ Styles because that's Uncle Alan, bro, and I'm not picking fucking Logan Paul over Uncle Alan. Like, I'm not doing it. Even if that's what my head's telling me. My heart won't allow it.
Well, I'm going to pick AJ to win. But I'm gonna say if Logan wins, then we know what's gonna happen. We know what that means. So.
See, I don't think that's true. I don't think if AJ loses this, it means he's leaving. But at the same time, whatever happens in this match or whatever happens with AJ Styles' career after this match, none of the options will surprise me. Like nothing.
What Karrion Kross say? AJ, you can't lose this. You cannot lose this. This is for us.
Imagine AJ loses Logan Paul and he takes the gloves off. He takes the P1 gloves off. It's like but nah, I ain't wishing on that, bro. I ain't even speaking that into existence, man. We got AJ.
I hope he has a special entrance. I hope he gets a special entrance. He deserves it.
Alright, so we've got the IC title Fatal 4-Way, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta challenging Bron Breakker. Who is coming out with the title, Rob? Who you got?
I'm going with my guy.
Go on.
Going with Big Dom. I'm going with my guy.
With Big Dom. Alright. I'm going to go with... I think Bron retains,
Think so?
I'm not explaining this, but I think Braun retains.
You know what I could see them doing? Since they're doing Worlds Collide, I could see them giving it to Dom and then having Penta win it at the Worlds Collide show. That's what I could see them doing.
They could definitely do something like that. All right, women's tag titles: Liv and Raquel defending against Lyra and a mystery opponent who I think 99% of the population will assume is Becky Lynch, and let's just assume it's Becky Lynch at this point. You get me? But
yeah,
Becky Lynch and Lyra. You think they're gonna win the tag titles?
Yeah. Becky Lynch is not coming back and losing. First of all, if it's Becky, she's not coming back and losing. When has Becky Lynch ever came back and lost? But yeah, no, definitely. I think it's definitely going to be Becky and Lyra if it's Becky. But if it's not Becky, then which I don't think it won't be. If it's not Becky, then I definitely expect Lyra and whoever it is to lose. So
okay, we got Randy Orton's Open Challenge. Who you think it's going to be?
Rusev Budria. Rusev Matka.
Yeah, I do kind of, if I'm being brutally honest, I do kind of think it'll be Rusev as well at this point now, especially with them presenting it as an open challenge. You know, it doesn't work as much as my previous prediction, which was Omos. Yeah, as an open challenge, Omos don't really work. I don't think, you know, not at Mania. You know, like if it was another pay-per-view or even like a special SmackDown or some shit, like you could build a mystery opponent to be Omos, you know. But I think on Mania, people will pop for Omos because I feel like Omos is one of those people that we all just kind of pump off each set, like, yeah, Omos, bro, that's my guy. You get me? But like,
Omos, a black man in a top spot in Triple H's promotion. I had to laugh.
But yeah, man, I think it'll probably be Rusev. Okay.
If Rusev, guys, WWE, I know you love to change theme songs and change presentation. Have it just be Rusev with the same theme, the same presentation, and you will get the reaction that you want. Don't change his theme like you did Andrade's, and now he gets pen drops as a fucking reaction. Keep the same theme, the same presentation, and it'll all go the way you want it to go.
Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it nice and easy.
Shit.
All right, let's do these world title matches.
It tried to argue. It was arguing me because I was like, the fucking Street Profits are not getting pops anymore because they changed their theme, and he's like, no, they know it's Street Profits. I'm like, no, bro, they don't. Because the first thing you don't think about when you hear the Street Profits, we want to smoke.
There is a few themes like that. A few of the latest themes, because like they have these new people get these new themes in modern WWE, and they're not like super distinguishable. It's like, not to do the whole Jim Johnston thing, but it's like it's literally something he's said in the past. It's like people's music hits, and you don't know who it is. And I'm not saying like, and I'm not even talking about like how like Rob is mentioning how like you don't recognize the song, but it's like Jim Johnston's music, like the vibe of the music would fit the characters perfectly. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you would know who it was before, even if it was the first time you heard that song and it was a new theme for someone, you'd have a good chance of guessing who that new theme would be.
Jim Johnston didn't have to have sound bites telling you who it was, or before the music started. The music hit and you knew who it was.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we'll see what they cook up for Rusev, bro. But whatever. Anyway, world title matches. Who we got? Rhea, Bianca, Io. I'm going with Bianca. I'm picking Bianca. I think Bianca.
Yeah, no, I'm picking Bianca. I think Bianca deserves this. It's been way too long since she's had this opportunity and a title. So Bianca.
Yeah, man. We're going with Bianca. And the big one, Rob. You got your whole life riding on this. John Cena going for number 17 against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Very special occasion in the main event of WrestleMania. John Cena's last WrestleMania, and he's going into it as a fucking heel, bro. So big motion with this match, bro. I'm gonna pick Cena. I've said it since even before the Rumble, bro. Like this WrestleMania is going to close with the shot of Cena with number 17 in his hands.
Oh my god!
Obviously, come on, Rob. Who you got?
Monty, I can see it now. See it now. We're gonna be with Seth Rollins. We're gonna be with The Rock and Travis Scott, Monty, Paul Heyman, and we're gonna be standing 1 foot on the chest of the corpse, the carcass of a bloody Cody Rhodes, Monty. And all you're gonna hear is
that did Seth, you know.
WWE champion John Cena. Number 17, Monty. It's what we've thought about since we got number 16 in 2016. No, it's 2017. 2017, Monty. It's what we've thought about for 8 years. I had to count that in my head. But we thought about this for 8 years, Monty, and the day is finally here. The time has finally come, Monty. And guess what? They let us Cody lay us out twice. So you know what that means. Number 17, the day is finally here.
Listen, I'm not sure about all this Seth inclusion and shit. Bro, that wrestling that account on Twitter, what's his name, bro? Like Zashi or something like that. As soon as the Seth turn up and they were like, "What if this is Dwayne's doing?" And I was like, "Bro, fucking."
Yeah, I seen that. That's why I was talking about it. I seen that.
Shit. Dwayne's an animal, mate. Who knows what? Who knows what Dwayne's got cooking for this main event, bro? Because you know there's gonna be some.
Fuck around.
Actually, that's another prediction. You think Dwayne's in Vegas? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
See, I'm 50-50, bro. Involved. I'm 50-50.
I think The Rock is definitely involved. Somebody is going to fuck Cody out of this world title, whether it's The Rock, whether it's Seth, whether somebody is fucking Cody Rhodes out of the WWE Championship tonight.
And there you have it, people. All right, we got one super chat and then we're going to wrap it up. So if you got anything major you want to tell us or let us know, then do it right now. Black Yakuza $94 $5. WWE has to know Cena is going to get cheered over Cody in the match. So that means Cody has to get lynched in order for people to feel bad for him losing. Honestly, bro, it depends on how they perform the match, man. Like, it's very much like it's like that promo literally on Friday. Like, not to be like cliche or corny with it, but it's like, you know, the crowd were booing Cody Rhodes to start off with because it was very much. But like when they boo Cody Rhodes, it's not genuine from the heart. It's more just like, yeah, Cena, you know, boo this guy, and that's why they boo Cody Rhodes at the start of his promo. But when Cody can actually, when Cody just he just powered through it, bro. You were just ignoring him. Do you know what I mean? Like Cena even looked at him at one point to be like, "Yo, is he? You know what I mean? Is he okay?" But Cody Rhodes, he powered through it, and through the quality of his promo, through the quality of his delivery, he won the people over. And I think that it's very possible you can apply that same logic to a match. You know, so at the start of the match, there will be a lot of people who want to see that moment of Cena winning number 17. People who've grew up watching, idolizing John Cena. People will be behind Cena making history. But I think if Cody Rhodes has a really good babyface performance and Cena on the other hand has a really good heel performance, they will get the crowd where they want them to be. But this is wrestling, bro. It's what they do. It's what they're paid to do. It's what they become legends doing. You know what I mean? It's not like we're talking about two NXT guys here. We're talking about Cody Rhodes, John Cena. So, and that's not to dismiss that. There is absolutely still a good chance that it doesn't work the way they want it to, and you know the crowd just thinks fuck it, Cena's babyface now. You know, but there absolutely it's a very very valid worry to have about this match, I do think. But I am on the optimistic side of thinking they'll be able to power through any sort of problems like that they have. So I'm looking forward to it though, Rob. Mania Night 2.
I'm hoping that Cena can get it done. It would just be dumb to do all of this and have
Cena's winning, bro. It
would be
Cena's
stupid.
Winning,
it would be the dumbest shit ever. Like
Cena's
and then Cody would end up literally getting booed out of the fucking building. So like
well, again, it depends how to do it, but that is a very real possibility, you know. But Yeah, I think Cena's definitely winning. There has been some moments where I have considered maybe to do Cody winning here, but and then you remember like the reports like a couple months ago where it was like Cena's heel turn was meant to be at Mania, so you would assume that Cena was going to turn heel and win the fucking belt, you know, unless they were going to do the thing where Cody beats him to shake hands and Cena does the whole sore loser shit, you know. But yeah, I think Cena's going over. Lock that in, people. All right, so Mania Night 2 tomorrow. Ibu, Anna will be on WrestlePurists Worldwide. They'll be reviewing Night 2. I'm sure they'll talk about some of the other stuff as well, like AAA being acquired by WWE. You know, some other things that have been going on as well. But yeah, WWE, AAA. Robbie, you got anything you want to quickly say on that before we jump out of here?
I knew it was coming. Not that like I knew anything, because I told y'all I'm not a scoopster, bro. I'm an entertainer. I don't. That's shit. That scoopster shit seems too stressful, bro. I don't want to put something out there.
I'm an entertainer, you know.
I got all the black vans from WWE in my front yard, with the SWAT team outside being like, "Come outside now." Like, no, I don't. But I knew this was eventually coming. AAA. Especially with the Lucha Blog article that he put out today. Go read. Like, it's really sad when you read it. Basically, long story short, the Peñas have been looking to sell AAA for a really long time, since like 2018, and like they basically wanted to sell really since the rumor was they really wanted to sell since when the owner died, like one of the founders died, like in '08. So. Yeah, no, I knew this was coming for a long time, especially since Conan's been telling us what comes around goes around, part 3. So, yeah, no, I'm not surprised whatsoever.
Pedro T 199 says Bailey deserves better. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Bailey deserves the world, man. She's great. We love Bailey, bro. We love Bailey. And on that note, it's a nice note to end on, I guess. We love Bailey, you know. All right, like I said, tomorrow, WrestlePurists Worldwide should be normal time at about 6 p.m. Eastern, hosted by Ibu and friends. What else we got on? Obviously, Tuesday, there'll be the Raw After Mania review with Rob and Ibu. Rob, what you got going on in the Self-Made Discord tonight?
They will be watching WrestleMania. I'll be there too, but I'll be also on Twitch. But we'll be watching WrestleMania in the Discord tonight, so make sure y'all are there. We watched WrestleMania in the Discord last night, and I will personally make sure that Ibu is there tonight, and he does not skimp out for a quote-unquote Knicks game that ended before the main event. He wasn't there. But
he's a lazy worker, bro.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You don't love the fans. He don't love the fans, bro. He doesn't love the fans.
Ibu of WrestlePurists took his ball and he went home.
That's what he's on, bro. Anyway, people.
But, yeah. My Twitch is right here.
Yeah, man.
Oh no, it's not right here. Okay, it is right there. So, oh no, I've probably fucked the link up. So hold on. But there it is. So make sure you guys go follow me. Follow me and turn on your notifications, because when I go live, you will know. So I'll be going live at 5 Central. So in 30 minutes, I'll be going live for WrestleMania.
There it is, people. All right, people. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate all the support as always. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.